garage for your dirty bags.
Okay.
So,
I didn't even see what it you threw.
Oh, it's the little basket I have in here.
Oh.
It's just like a mesh one.
Cool.
Put a little tack in the wall and throw them in there so if they're wet, they'll dry.
Yeah.
They won't get moldy.
Hey, there he is.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you guys?
Doing good. Doing good. Let's see out here. Getting a bit stormy in some parts, it seems. So we have connection problems. You know, it is what it is.
What, roll 20?
No, just like literal storms, like wind and rain and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Problems.
I live in Smithfield, and we're currently at a severe thunderstorm / flooding warning.
Yeah, I
So
live
my
at.
dam because my internet went down because my lights are gone.
Yeah, I live in Layton, and it's storming real bad right now.
You getting rain there, Mason?
Oh yeah, rain, and they're talking about hail and super windy.
We just barely started getting a bunch of rain just now.
Where are you at, Matt?
I'm in West Valley.
It'll probably hit me soon. Then I'm in Draper.
Pretty crazy. Jessica, did you get my message I sent you there?
Sorry. So first off, I said I'm in Harriman and we have not gotten anything. And let me see if I got your message. It wasn't there a moment ago. Okay, I do have it now though.
Everything else I told you about, you know, stuff that happened to you is the same, but now that's just the updated where you are sort of a thing.
Okay.
So cool.
Secrets.
Cool. All right, give me just a moment here, then. We can get started. Let's see. Do one of you want to maybe catch Jessica up on what happened last time, since she wasn't able to get
Well, we came back to Saltmarsh and decided to meet up with our I don't want to say patron, but our little local shop keep that we paid to search for magical items for us, and she hates me, she hates Gardane, and she really likes Dimitri. So we bought a few items, a couple healing potions, some armor.
Did you guys ever raid Myra's body before you
Oh,
threw
yeah.
her in the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Actually, I don't think we've taken Myra's body yet.
List of things. If you have anything on her body that you didn't put on your sheet.
Yes, I tried messaging Kobe in between what I was doing to try to give him a list because I didn't keep anything on my sheet. It was all on a separate piece of, on a Word document.
Yeah, so I do know you have the immovable rod, so I already have that. But anything else, I don't know.
Okay, let me pull it up. One sec.
Yeah, because like there's everything that was on your sheet, but that wasn't everything because I know you have more things like a pair of shears.
Yes.
Also, Myra's body is on our ship.
Oh, still there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you rolled up a cleric that can resurrect things, you can have 2 characters.
Oh.
So fun.
Because that wouldn't be complicated at all.
Yeah. Us make things complicated?
She'll just be a sidekick like Meepo.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Meepo became a sidekick as well.
and now has magic.
So now he knows Eldritch Blast.
Okay, guys. As
He still has
far-
like 7 hit points, but yes.
Hey,
He
it's
has
better
9,
than his
like,
little
9 hit.
sling thing. But like,
Okay. So here's, I'm gonna start typing some of this stuff in. There's my weapons I had. I had an explorer's kit. I'm not gonna post that in there because,
Yeah.
you know, that isn't really necessary.
Cool.
I had an antidote and I had a healer's kit on me. Let's see, out of the let's see. Empty that. Oh, I got 6 antitoxins. Is that on the list? Oh, and 2 more healer's kits. Oh. Just kidding. I got those like right before we left. Let's see. Other things I had. Let's see. A wizard's book. A flask with strange liquid inside that could repel fire reduce fire damage to half for 1 hour. A crystal bauble from a fireplace in a haunted
We
house.
get a different washer and dryer when your mom and Joe take
Let's
these
see,
ones.
4
I want
pieces
one that I
of
can
a
choose.
mystery- Oh,
The load size. I don't like the
it was
newer ones, like
the,
the fancier ones.
Yeah.
let's see.
They
I
weigh the
never
laundry
got it.
and then they decide how much water to put in. I
I
don't like
probably
that
wouldn't want that
at
anyway.
all. Mine was like that.
The
It didn't
book
do that,
for
but it was
lizard language and
more of
grammar.
a base model.
Yeah.
A lizard folk
So.
necklace, harpy, and an earplug. Yeah. Okay, so nothing else really that was good. So,
Are you posting your little Mustang group?
Yeah.
See
like
if they
somebody
can
wants to
fix
grab
that?
that
Yeah.
dice though for me and send
Nice.
nudge, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to wash my bras and it's doing that weighing thing. That's gonna ruin them. I don't like it.
Ouch.
Well, you could always hand wash them.
I have enough laundry to do it. I don't have time to hand wash.
Just throw them outside. Or
No, I want to wash them in the washer. It's one of the reasons, like,
Why don't
when
you
I
just wash them with a
Stopped
load?
Dimitri
No, that's what
from
you run.
taking cooking quests
You
that
have to
we
wash
all
them by
knew we were gonna
themselves.
die on.
They can't have the agitator, which
Oh,
is great.
which
But then
one
if
is
it's gonna do that weighing,
Something
well,
about an island run by
Yeah.
evil priests. We weren't doing it yet.
There
I
was
just
an
don't
island
like how the
and there
new
was
ones like,
smoke
are
coming.
so automated. Like, I will tell you how much water I
Okay.
want in this.
Yeah.
All that's known is that it's run by priests of an evil god.
My god's eviler. It's fine.
Okay. Interesting.
Alrighty. So yeah, that's pretty much where we left off with you guys. You had retired, I believe, to the ship after having received a message as well from one of the local guard regarding a summons the following day around midday for you to come to meet with the town council again regarding some
I
matters
just can't wash them.
urgent importance.
Crazy.
And that's basically where we left off. So you guys can get any benefits of a long rest if you needed one. If not, you're good to go. But what are you guys doing as the morning rises, as the boat continues to just kind of wave and toss a little bit here in the harbor as you're anchored here in the port of Saltmarsh? Smell of sea salt in the loud screeching of seagulls and whatnot, waking many of you up at this early hour.
Well, I guess we head out to lay Myra to rest, right?
Put me in the coral reef.
Get eaten by the coral reef.
It's fairly close.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'm gonna have to hang up this phone call real quick because it won't allow me to read Matthew's message. Every time I try to exit out, it pops up the phone call. I'm
Oh,
having
dear.
phone difficulties. It's technical difficulties. Just one sec.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Her,
So
her character's dead right now anyway. So.
Yeah.
so yeah, just like setting sail real quick to go get Myra to the coral reef.
Okay, so tell me about that. How are you going about this? Do you know where you want to head?
I'm assuming I know where the coral reef is.
Is that you?
Not like
What?
What is that noise?
So
Like
you
the
would
player
probably
person.
know from
Oh,
below
it was
the
something
water.
downstairs.
yeah.
Whether or not you're familiar with the directions from above water is another thing. You could roll like a history check. See if you
Sure,
know
we'll
that
see
from
how
those
good
stuff.
I am at that.
I
Nope.
definitely do not know where anything is in the water.
Not
Well,
above.
Also, who wanted to take over Varys today?
I can.
Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, if you want to make like any rolls and stuff for him, should be able to open up his
How do I
character sheet.
pull up character sheets without the tokens?
So go to Journal. Up top right, there's one of the tabs named Journal.
Ah, yeah.
You should be able to find his name, Varys, and then
Yep.
if you double click on it, it should open up for you there. Assuming you still have access to his sheet, which
Yeah, I got it.
right now. But
Alright.
yeah, the crew, as you guys are getting up and starting to move, and my lights just flashed and flickered a bit, so just giving you heads up, I might
Mine's
disappear.
doing it too.
I might disappear if the power goes out. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
I think Varys.
I don't know if you guys could see that on the camera or not, but
There's my no, he's a sailor.
Yeah, isn't he a captain?
Oh,
So
yeah, he is sort of the de facto captain of
Right.
your guys' ship, as he has the most direct sailing and command experience, as it were, as a former Marine.
yeah, Varys would just be like, "Are we ready to do this?" And then, if everybody agrees, we will start pulling anchor and head east.
Alrighty.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the map now. The rose compass there. It's more south actually. We'll go southeast.
Yep, easily enough. As you call together the crew, you do notice Carol, who's kind of been sort of the first mate and the one who's been managing things for you, takes up right as soon as Varys starts giving off these orders, and you watches the rest of the crew, including the several little goblins that have been hired on to help you out, scurrying about and tying off the ropes and getting the sails unfurled and lifting up the anchor and stowing things away so that you guys can push off a port and head off into the ocean. And within about 15 minutes, you guys are slowly drifting away from the dock and making a slow turn to catch the wind and head out of the port into the open ocean. We can go ahead and, since Varys is sort of taking the lead on this, he can go ahead and make a check as well. We'll say he has advantage on the check because of his experience here.
Wait, a history check or?
Yeah, like history to see if he knows where we could find a coral reef, since that's what you guys are looking for this burial. 17. All right. So yeah, easily enough, he knows of just the spot, and it doesn't take long, not more than 15-20 minutes of sailing out from the port, as the sun is still just barely rising up above the horizon, and the bright red, orange, and yellow floods across the surface of the water. You start to see through the water the clear little bits, some little jagged edges and bits of coral, as Varys makes the call to raise the sails and slow the ship down, so that you don't crash into them yourselves as you make your approach to this spot that he's found for you all.
I would go up to, our Varys would go up to Ashari, as it seems like she was the closest to Amira. And we are here at the coral. Is this a good spot? Would you like to do your services here? Hey, Morton, how you doing?
So like, if I look over the ship, I can like see into the water and see the coral reef.
So it's a little difficult. You can see bits of it, but because again the early morning light is kind of reflecting off of the water, so that kind of causes a bit of a glare with these yellows and oranges that are dancing off of the water. But you can see through a little bit, and you can see the general area of where the reef is.
Come here.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Varys I'm gonna go jump in and find the spot real quick. It's like so I know what I'm going in for while dragging the body down there. Because you don't just drop it in. So I just dive underneath and get like a lay of the reef itself.
Yep. With a graceful splash, you dive into the water and start swimming down below. And you can see that this is a very colorful, beautiful reef. There's all sorts of greens and pinks and yellows cut into the actual coral itself, teeming with all sorts of ocean life, fish and anemones and whatnot. You can see some small octopuses and things scuttering about, looking for food and whatnot. What exactly are you looking for down here?
Kind of like a place where the coral kind of has like a wedgeable spot so that the body doesn't float back up.
Sure, just give me a quick
Body
investigation check.
Hopefully. Investigation's never my good sport. Oh.
Okay.
How can I not find things?
So here's the thing. It was a bad roll, yes. What that really means is that it takes you a long time, because you're gonna find one. Like this coral reef, there is places like this to find. It's just that you're not really focused. Perhaps it's a bit of the grieving process. Perhaps you're a little distracted. Maybe you don't want to find the spot. You're maybe dreading a little bit having to do this for this youngster that was tagging along on your adventures.
Use your forehand massage.
So it takes you a while. You're down there below the waves for maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and your friends are getting a little concerned. So what are you guys doing up above as your friend Ashari has disappeared below the waves for a solid 30 to 45 minutes?
I am training with my pseudo dragon.
Oh, that's right.
Kata.
You've got your little pseudo dragon.
Yep.
What did you name it again?
Kata.
Forget. Kata, right. Little Kata floating about.
I'm trying to teach Kata how to play fetch.
Colby, anything?
I'm trying to teach Meepo how to play fetch.
Meepo is surprisingly good at this game, since he understands language and knows exactly what you want from him. He's a little confused by it, but he does it eagerly. Yes! I'll get the ball! He's rushing off whatever you're throwing and bringing it back to you. But yeah, after just getting aimlessly lost down in the coral for a while, perhaps even just kind of taking some time to enjoy the beauty of it down there, you find a spot that you think will work great. It's going to be a little bit protected and whatnot.
She's just needy.
Just a happy girl.
Sorry, I'm writing notes. I've been there. I'm gonna go back up, hop back up on the ship in all of my dripping wet glory, and tell them that I found a spot. If they want to say any last words, like I'm not good at death.
Isn't this like the second time we've buried a sea elf?
Yes,
Yeah, right.
and this one had specifications, so
Yeah, didn't you just like discard the other body? It just
Maybe
kind
we
of
like threw it into a shipwreck or something.
yeah, I think we threw her into the shipwreck
yeah. Mm-hmm.
with our other friend.
Alright,
We went to that shipwreck that we fought the three large crabs,
Yeah,
and
you found that fishing rod, I think, or whatever.
yeah, the silver fishing rod. Yeah, we put them in there, but she wanted a reef, so we found a reef. No big ceremonies. There are no words. I'd be picking the body up and her.
I have something I want to do.
Okay.
So before Shari picks her up and starts taking her to final resting place, I'll take a onyx stone out of my bag, and I'll fasten it to her or put it in her pocket or wherever it's not going to get lost. And I'll just kneel down near her ear and whisper, "This isn't the end, friend. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next stage of our existence. Raven Queen, take her and safely get her to where she needs to go." Now get up and walk away.
You should engrave on that stone, favorite a princess. Sorry.
I'll have Meepo do it.
You see that at this point, Meepo is sort of, after having played fetch with you for a while, but seeing that the body is about to be put over the edge, he's getting emotional again, kind of losing it, sobbing the ugly cry tears, just kind of a mess, like a toddler who doesn't want to go down for a nap or something.
And I'll come back in the line, kind of pat him on the back and be like, "It's okay, buddy. We just need to get strong enough to prevent this from ever happening again."
You think Meepo can get stronger?
Well, with your new powers, you just might.
He kind of stops crying for just a second, smiles just a little bit, and you see a little glow in his hand.
Maybe after. Maybe wait till after.
Oh, he looks at you. Oh, sorry, and he kind of like puts it down as if he forgot
I said-
himself for a second.
I side eye Meepo, and Meepo the intimidation.
Exactly, and he goes kind of like, Meepo, sorry.
I will take your grief.
But yeah, he quickly snuffs out the little bit of magic forming in his hand, looks a little abashed and ashamed of himself. Anything from Gargane or Varus, Macy?
He's left the camera. I'm not sure.
That's alright. Well,
I'm assuming he says a prayer to move him on. Like
Must be an omen.
doing all of that.
of course. Something to that effect.
Yeah, I then pick her up and once again jump into the water and swim down to that spot I found. She's like wrapped in a cloak, so she's not like loose, just floating there. And then I just like wedge her in, do one more like Aquayan death song.
Yeah.
And then just kind of swim away.
Yeah, it is a little surprising to you just how light she actually is, and how easy it is for you to do so as you swim her to the spot that you found nestled in a little crevice between a couple different bits of the coral and whatnot. And you can see sort of little strands of her hair just kind of floating in the water as you slowly drift back away from it and head back towards the ship.
I then crawl myself back into the boat because all wet, wringing hair out, that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else y'all would like to do?
Sail back.
Yeah.
On our little, our really short little thing because we got a meeting at noon.
Mhm.
That you do.
So we don't know what time it is. Other than early morning.
We don't have time for the funeral potatoes.
No.
Mesa, was there
River.
anything that Gardain or Varys wanted to do?
Well,
Y'all
actually,
leave the spot?
no, I think we're good. We're just kind of solemn.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Then, giving the orders to the crew, Varys rounds everyone up, gets the sails set, and your course headed back towards Saltmarsh. It doesn't take too long for you to find yourselves once again as the crew rushes to lower the anchor and get yourselves tied and moored up against everything there at the port. Firmly secured and once again back as the bustle of Saltmarsh in the early morning as various ships begin to come and go with heading out to start their day's catch and whatnot.
All right. Well, so we're back in Saltmarsh, you said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then I guess we should, after having a drink for our fallen comrade, suggest that we should maybe head to the town council for the meeting.
I suppose.
Yeah.
You certainly can do that if you want. You definitely have a few hours before midday if there's anything else you want to do prior to that. But if not, we can go ahead and jump forward to
We
that.
just went in to put her phone on the charger. He'll be out in a second.
I just spend the hours training with Kada.
I don't have anything in particular I'd like to do either, so.
Okay.
I'm good. We did everything yesterday.
Alrighty.
Well, enough
Sounds
time.
good. So, after a few hours, maybe perhaps grabbing a bite to eat in the interim, sustaining yourself.
Hey, Threads, how are you doing?
You
I'm pretty good.
eventually gather together.
How's life treating you?
Who all is going to the meeting? Is it going to be the whole group here, or?
I know Varys and Gardain are going.
I wouldn't pass up a meeting.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's
So
leave
you-
Meepo.
All right, so Meepo stays behind with the crew, and you guys make your way once again to the large center building there in Saltmarsh that you've come to know pretty well now as the town hall, where the town council holds their meetings. And as you approach, it's busy. Like, there's a lot of people crowding around the place, a lot of normal citizens who seem really interested in the comings and goings of what's going on here. You hear voices clamoring about as various people are hushing and whispering back and forth, wondering what's going on inside. And you eventually make your way up to the front, and the guards are like, wait, and points at you guys. You there, Scions, correct?
Yes, we are
Dark, whatever.
the Scions.
Everyone clear a path, and you watch as they kind of push the rabble of everyday citizens to the side to make a path for you all so you can get to the front doors and into the building proper.
I could get used to this.
Well, as you say that under your breath, the guard turns to you and says, well, I bloody can't. These damn people are making it hard for us to do our job. What the hell are they doing here anyway? It's just a meeting of the town council.
I suppose our fame has spread that far already.
Give me an insight check, actually. Anyone who wants to.
I'm so good at insight. Whew.
Yeah, you're convinced because you're famous. Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
I can really get used to this.
And you guys are again ushered into that main hall through several long hallways to the main chamber, where you've come to know
Hey, we'll get a payment.
the town council holds their meetings regularly.
Nice, man.
And
Good.
there you once again see the usual.
Well, that's good, man.
suspects.
Glad to hear
Ada
things are looking
Allen,
up.
who is the head of the council. Gellin Primewater once again with his glass of wine and stroking his little pointed chin beard. You've got Manistrad Copperlocks representing the dwarves and their mining operation. Eleander, the head of the guard, etc. But you notice there's some new faces here as well. You see the two lizard folk representatives that you escorted from the swamp sitting in a place of prominence right up at the top table with the council, as well as to the side, not in as prestigious of a place, what appears to be a merfolk sitting on a chair, which is an awkward sight, to say the least, given their finny tail and lack of legs, as well as a Lokatha as well, one of the fish people you encountered in the lair of the lizard folk, who appear to be in attendance here as well. And as you enter the room, it appears as though there's an argument going on. People squabbling back and forth. You hear people say, "We need decisive action now," and another's calling out, "But we need to be careful. There's too many other factors, and what about the islands?" And just squabbling back and forth, a huge rabble as you guys are entering into the room. What are you guys doing as you do so?
As we enter the room, I would like to cast Thaumaturgy
Ooh, okay.
and have all of the windows just slam open and then close again to get their attention.
All right, you
Oh
do
goodness,
just that
Dimitri is rubbing off on you.
with a huge crack, smash, smack, as the shutters of the windows of this large chamber just kind of open and close really fast, and this loud clamor. It's like it's much more effective than in the past when you've seen Ada use her gavel to smash and try and get silence and order. Everyone is shocked into silence, and every head turns directly to you, Gardane.
And I'll step up front and jump on a chair and do my signature pose. Just be like, the legendary Scions of Darkness have arrived.
That's epic. I love it.
As you do this, Dimitri, you see
I'm like half tempted to be like, I'm not with them.
you see Ada Owland in her graying hair but still in her fine vestments put her hands squarely on the table and stand up to her full height, looking out towards you, directly at you, Dimitri, since you're doing your pose and bringing attention to yourself. And she says, "Well, it's about damn time. Where the hell have you lot been? Or have you forgotten that you're under the employ of the council?"
And I'll turn around and just be like, this was the specified time, right?
"You've been gone for nearly 2 weeks, and we've been trying to contact you. Every time we sent people to your boat sitting out there in the harbor, which, mind you, we provided to you, they had nothing to tell us. No idea when you'd be back. Something about some treasure hunting you'd gone off to do. Did you forget that you were under our employ?"
Varys?
Varys would say, if I recall,
I pass popcorn Varys.
if I recall, we said we would work for you when we weren't doing our own things and when you needed us. So sometimes, if you are not giving us direct things to do, we have other things we need to do as well. As
And that
such,
is
for the last
also-
2 weeks, we have been busy.
And you will recall when such arrangements were made, you assured us you would inform us.
Oops.
We made no objection to you taking other jobs and doing other things, but you assured us that the council and its business would be your top priority.
You know,
And
sometimes
disappearing for nearly 2 weeks without so much as a "how do you do" is hardly doing that.
So,
time just passes differently. It feels like a full 2 weeks, even.
You know what? I don't
within a
want to
couple of
hear your
hours.
excuses. And she bangs the gavel. Sit down, all of you. We have important discussions to make. And believe it or not, it involves you.
And I'll pull up a chair and I'll turn it around and like sit all edgy in the chair.
Are you pulling a Commander Riker and like stepping over the chair?
Pretty much, yeah. Just
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Fantastic.
I sit down next to Dimitri and just kind of sigh. Like, I'm not gonna like defend us because I legitimately forgot to inform them. But I'm just gonna sigh and like just sigh. Like even Gardane is getting on it now. Like just sigh.
As you guys take your seats, and as Ada herself sits back down at her place at the head of the table, you actually see Eleander Fireborn, the grizzled veteran who heads the local guard, raise his hand and, getting Ada's attention, calls out,
46 hours.
"If you don't mind, Ada, can we get back to
Well,
the
glad to
business
hear it,
at
man.
hand?
I'm glad to hear things are going
Seems,
good for you.
The ones we were waiting on have arrived, so it seems prudent to get them up to speed, no?" Ada gives sort of a curt nod, sighs, and said, "I suppose." "The floor is yours, Master Eleander." And he then sort of stands up from his chair. He says, "Well, as you all have heard, we've received word from the Mariners Guild about the fire breaking out and the slaughter at the Isle of the Abbey. This represents itself as a keen opportunity for us strategically in our fight against the Sahuagin. As we corral our forces and get our people together, we will need every advantage we can possibly get. And if it's true that the cultists and evil clerics have been wiped out from the Isle, it may be just the perfect launching point for us to stage our assault on the Sahuagin when we mount our joint forces. I've invited the head of the guild, Master Torben, to come here and explain the details. If you would, Master Torben." And he sort of gestures to a seat actually behind you guys, where you sat in the hall, and a little bit off to your right behind you. You watch as sort of a portly man with like a gray vest and sort of a white kind of tunic underneath. He's wearing one of those little skull bandana caps and large bushy mustache. Think Mr. Shmee from like Hook. Like he looks a lot like that sort of a thing. Definitely like Shmee's me. What would the world be like without Shmee? But he kind of he sort of has that look about him, as it were,
What's
like
his
an
name
old
again?
sailor.
Torben.
Torben was the name that they were given. And you watch as he sort of stands up. You watch as he kind of like pulls his pants up a little bit around his girth and sort of like tightens his belt as he does so. Thank you, Master Eleander. As the head of the Mariners Guild, I'm very honored to speak at this auspicious gathering. As you know, the Mariners Guild provides important economic, and you hear a loud sigh from the head table, and you watch as Ada says, "Oh, enough with the flabbering, just get it out already." And you watch as Tabith, he kind of, right, well, as you all know, the Isle of the Abbey has been a bit of a sore in the side of the community for quite some time. What with the evil clerics and their terrible worship and dark practices, and us unable to really make any headway with dealing with them. However, it seems that the pirates that they were in league with recently got fed up with them, and they ransacked the abbey several days ago, burning it to the ground. The battle appears to have been rather fierce. Our mariners came in and afterward and cleaned up much of the rabble who were trying to escape afterwards, but it looks like, for the most part, that most of the evil may have been cleared away. They could all be dead for all we know, though we haven't exactly set foot on the island proper to check. But nonetheless, we hope to be able to now use the island, first of all, to establish a nice new lighthouse as a guard for the ships coming in and out of port, and as a potential military base for your coming war, as it were, with those shark people, what have you. But the fact is, we're not entirely sure if it's safe yet. The clerics of the island are known to have used necromancy and undead to guard their land and territory. So none of our men are really particularly keen to set foot on the island until we know it's clear. Which I suppose is why you got your Scion people here, and he sort of gestures, turning to look at you guys instead of at the council at this point. And he like narrows his eyes as he looks at the group of you, and just, you can tell he's a little skeptical. But then after a brief pause, he turns back to the council, says, the Mariners Guild, though, would like to take possession of the island itself, if that's pleases the council, so that we can run the lighthouse we wish to build and manage things in perpetuity moving forward. But as such, we're more than happy to foot the bill, as it were. We could offer a hefty reward of 2,000 gold pieces for the completion of this mission, which would include landing on the island proper, clearing out any unsavory bits and dangerous things that could still be lurking. As best we can tell from afar, it seems the abbey itself has been burnt to the ground, and we see no activity from the sea, as it were. But we're hoping that that's all there is to it. But that about sums it up. If you can just verify that it's safe and that there's nothing left there to endanger me or my men, we can handle the rest, setting up provisions and a base, and beginning construction on the new lighthouse to service the area, as there's a lot of rocks and shoals that have tripped up local ships and fishermen for quite some time. He sort of gives a curt nod. And at that point, Eleander says, "Thank you, Master Torben. Now, the rest of you here, Scions of Darkness, do you think you understand the assignment?"
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
Definitely.
Seems right up our alley. And I'll start standing up, be like, leave now. Let's go.
Well, Varys, I think, would be like, I just want to clarify. Now, the Mariners Guild is fronting the bill for this quest per se, correct?
Yes. Torben kind of nods, and a little
Now-
confused on his face.
Now, the 2K gold, is that going to the council or is that going to us?
You watch as Eleander sort of looks at Varys and kind of gives a sigh. "It's for you."
Good to know, good to know. Now, is there any items of note or anything on the island that we should keep an eye out for?
In response to that, Torben kind of says, "Well, these clerics have been running the place for quite a long time, and as I said, with undead running rampant, our men haven't dared to set foot on there, so we don't rightly know. I suppose you'll find out, though. I reckon with how fiercely they've defended it the last several years, they must be hiding something of value.
Okay.
I suppose as well, if you're looking for more information, there is one member of the guild that you might want to speak with. There's another small island not far from the Abbey of the Isle, where there's already a lighthouse set up, run by good Major Ursa. Sort of retired from the guild now and just runs the lighthouse proper. No more sailing for him, but he's a good man. And I suppose if you paid him a visit before heading to the Isle of the Abbey proper, he might be able to fill you in a bit
I
more,
have something on my lip.
help you out there.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it ink?
Yeah. I'm like, what have you been doing? Yeah.
I think my pen is leaking or something.
Where'd you get that pen from?
I just leaked ink all over my mouth.
you get
so
that?
Be right back.
Where'd you get that pen from?
Oh no!
Where'd
Right
you...
here.
Oh
I think that's the one I
no!
washed.
That's okay. I saw a black mark.
There's a
on his
million
lip. I'm like,
downstairs
is
that you
ink
can
or
have.
is it
Yeah, this is the one I
just
washed.
the pen cap?
Oops,
Yeah, I
daisy.
was like, what is that? Hey, that.
Yeah. This one's bad. There's a ton
So-
downstairs you can have. if
We'll
you
wait
want.
a sec, I guess, until he gets back here. Okay.
Did you see the lights flicker that one time?
No.
You didn't?
Just now?
No, it was like 10 minutes ago.
I don't think so. No. Yeah, that
Ursa,
pen's
right?
on
I
my-
saw that.
On my
yeah.
colored
Or-
pen.
I saw that.
That's,
Yes,
you know,
you are SA.
how I take
You
notes
are.
and stuff.
You
There's-
So I brought a bunch of pencils too.
What?
I got a bunch of
Yeah.
pencils for D&D.
Yeah.
Gene Urso.
Well, that was gross.
Yeah, I imagine. So with that, Eleander turns to you all and says, "Well, the sooner you can complete your mission, the better, as we're hoping to mount our forces and make a strike against the Sahuagin within the next few weeks here. So the sooner you can look into this matter and resolve it, the better.
Right away.
Do you have any questions for the council or for Master Torben of the guild?"
Nope. Are we done?
Nope. Can we go?
We're good.
You watch as Ada, just kind of exasperated, just sort of waves you away, doesn't even say anything, just kind of...
Gardain would look at Manistrad Copperlocks and bow deeply towards her.
She kind of looks to you. She doesn't, like, smile, but she gives you a nod. An acknowledgement, dwarf to dwarf.
As me and Dimitri are walking out, I turned to him as like, I guess you do get to go to the island you wanted to go to. As we walk out the door.
It seems fate. is
Hey
an
Chelsea,
accomplice
thanks
of
for that.
mine.
How you doing?
Yep. As like, just like,
And
as
I
like,
also
like,
fate's
just like
accomplice.
loud talking as we walk out the door. We're like, we're gonna ignore everyone else anyways.
Yeah, you make your way through the crowd, who seems, again, concerned looks and whispers, and even more, like the chatter grows as you guys leave and make your way out, headed back towards the Sea Ghost.
Let's go make sure an island's empty.
Adventure
Really?
time.
Adventure time.
Woohoo!
I'm assuming the ship is like ready, it's stocked with food and that type of thing to go, so we can just go. We should probably go.
Let's go.
Alrighty, so you guys just head out.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't need
Uh,
a dawdle.
As you guys are having the anchors lifted and start to push off
Oh,
from
I
the
got ink
dock
all
and
over me.
lower the
Don't get it on the
sails and
shirt.
whatnot.
Huh?
Don't get it on
Start
your shirt.
pulling out of the harbor. Make me an intelligence check.
All of us or just one of us?
All of you, we'll say.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll.
I am not doing well. Roll20 hates me today.
Hey.
Okay. Who was the second roll there?
Varys.
Varys. Okay. Lucky for you guys, despite not asking for directions to either of these places,
We've passed it before.
Varys, not well. I assume you're going to the other place first with the lighthouse. That's up to you. You don't have to, but
We probably should have asked
I
for
say
direct-
let's go in there blind. It makes for a more exciting experience.
okay.
Except that we won't know where we are and if we're even at the right island.
But thanks to Varys's experience, he is familiar enough with the general region that he can properly navigate and guide your way to the lighthouse described, and then probably onward to the abbey itself.
Darius is just smart. The rest of us are pretty stupid, apparently.
Apparently.
We are the hack and slash crew.
So it's going to take you roughly half a day of sailing, but the seas are pretty calm and smooth, and the wind happens to be in your favor, making it a relatively short journey for you, everything considered, as you come across a very small island that is more like a rocky outcropping more than anything else. Very steep rock with a large lighthouse painted in sort of white and red striping going up it that you can just see jutting out of the water a good distance from the coast. And down at the bottom you can see a small little sandy beach, some palm trees and little bits of vegetation. There's not really a particular dock or a place to moor your boat. You would have to sort of moor a ways away and then either take a rowboat or swim to the actual island itself.
Yeah, I figured we'd have to take a rowboat. Yes. I think Gardane will stay on this ship. Varys, as a former... Is he a former mariner?
Yeah, he was a Marine.
Former Marine. He'll go off.
I'll go with theirs.
Okay. So you pull off the little dinghy rowboat that's tied to the deck of the Sea Ghost and lower it down into the water itself. Begin rowing ashore. Who all is going besides Varys?
I'll go, I guess.
Okay.
Gardane is not. Gardane is gonna train Kata.
Okay.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Let's separate from our cleric. Great idea.
So as you
Small
guys
island. I highly doubt we're gonna die on this one.
row your way up to this very small rocky island, as you get closer and closer, you hear like singing, like a very low baritone voice just singing like a very bawdy sailor song, a little risque, talking about some exploits from his youth perhaps. And as you get closer, you can finally see that strung between two of the palm trees in the sandy beach is like a hammock with a large barrel-chested fellow with a long red beard who is just singing his heart out as he basks in the sun, just seemingly oblivious to your approach as he just belts out this bawdy sailor song.
Varys is actually like nodding along, whispering the words as well, like not out loud, but he's like, remembers those old shanties. And then he'll kind of walk up and kind of like loudly like profess that we're all there, so he doesn't startle the guy or anything like that. Like, hello.
Okay, at Varys calling out, you watch as the music suddenly stops, the singing ends, and the man in the hammock is seemingly very startled. And and you watch as the hammock flips, and he gets tangled and caught up inside of it, and he starts swearing like the sailor that he is, in some rather profane ways, before calling out, "What the bloody hell? What you sneak up on a man for?
Apologies,
Bloody
friend.
rude, I tell you!" As he wrestles his way and slowly gets himself untangled from his hammock, drops to the sand with a loud thud, and he pushes his head up. You can see it's just his beard is just covered in sand, this bright red beard. You notice that his head is mostly balding with like bits of gray in his red hair and kind of a ring, you know, kind of like that sort of dome, the ring of hair around the sides kind of look. He sort of stares daggers at the group of you there on the shore. So he lifts up his head and he says, "What's the meaning of all this?"
Varys will just, say, apologies, friend. We were not trying to startle you. But we were sent by Master Torben.
You watch as he sort of gives a big sigh. "Torben? Bloody oath. He would send people to disturb me peace. Well, name's Major Ursa. And who are you all?"
My name is
Legendary Science
Varys.
of Darkness here. Pleasure to meet you.
He pushes himself up to his feet and stands up and kind of brushes off this very bright, like red and yellow kilt that he's wearing. He's not wearing a shirt. He's like just big, hairy chest sort of a thing. You can tell that he was like very muscular in his youth, but it's kind of getting a little flabby now. Not quite. You can tell that he's still strong for sure, but not quite as toned as maybe he was. And just wearing this bright kilt and basically nothing else. And he kind of gets up and looks along you here. "Scions of Darkness, you say? Well, I came here to work this lighthouse for a bit of peace and quiet after dealing with Torben and his little idiots running around the sea for years, and he keeps sending people to disturb me. So you better have a damn good reason for coming here, or you best be getting on your way."
Well, we
Need
didn't.
info. The
Go.
Isle of the Abbey.
Oi, Isle of the Abbey, eh?
Yeah.
What would give you the reason to want to go there?
We want to kill evil clerics.
By my understanding,
What
they're
he said.
already dead.
We're being sent to make sure they're all dead.
Which often means that they're not quite sure.
So we're assuming they're not dead.
Also, we're
Watch
getting
he-
paid too.
That much more information.
You watch as he kind of like brushes some of the sand out of his beard. He sort of ponders on what you're saying there.
I'd rather assume they're not dead and be prepared than assume they're all dead and then get dead.
Roll persuasion, advantage since you're all working together on this, so basically assisting one another. Whoever wants to do the check.
Gonna work.
Who's good at
Teamwork.
persuasion?
I'm good at persuasion.
Then you do it, charismatic one.
What's
I
gonna
get
work?
a 1.
Teamwork. There you
21.
go. 21.
Oh, hey, all right, 21. Okay, so he kind of looks you all over. He gives a little bit of a sigh. Mercenaries, adventurers. Suppose I wasn't so different in my youth.
We're more of scions than adventurers, but yeah.
What the bloody
What?
hell is a scion anyway?
I don't know. It just sounds legendary.
Ignore him.
Well, that's a bloody stupid reason to call yourself one. I'll tell you that right now. You need to get your little head there fixed, son.
You're just jealous. You're not a scion. Anyway, continue.
Ignore him. We would like
I
to know
don't,
more about
I don't
Abby.
want to be a scion. Regardless,
You want to be a
Fine,
scion.
fine, just
regardless.
shut up,
Yeah.
shut up,
Yeah,
follow
go
me.
ahead. Go ahead.
just come.
I'm just gonna cover his mouth, Dimitri's mouth, like, enough.
You know what? You know what? Actually, you, and he points to Dimitri, stay here. You, and he points to the rest of you.
Hey,
Follow
Joe,
me.
how you doing?
I'll stay guard, but only because I want to.
Okay. So Varys
That's what a scion would do.
He sort of grumbles under his breath to the two of you as you're walking up a very steep, rocky set of stairs towards up this kind of like cliff towards the base of the actual lighthouse itself. He's just kind of saying, "Bloody scion doesn't even know what he's talking about. Coming here, disturbing my nap and my singing, and just kind of grumbling to himself." But eventually, he gets to like this big. Iron-bound wooden door at the base of the lighthouse, and it's a decent-sized lighthouse. You know, it looks like there's a nice little lantern at the top, just above the actual door proper, and he opens the doors. It creaks, and inside you can see at that base level what appears to be an open sort of living area. You can see like bedding, a little area that looks like a makeshift kitchen or a larder with food supplies and whatnot. And then you can also see a set of sort of spiraling stairs that follow up along the edge of the circular building, heading towards the upper area where you can see what appears to be way high up above a ceiling that you suppose would lead to the actual light portion of the lighthouse itself, where the fire would burn to warn ships and whatnot. And within there, though, you actually see another individual who appears to be lying down on the bed, sort of resting. And Jessica, if you would like to introduce your character and what she's doing here in the lighthouse.
Yay! Okay, let me try to pull up a picture for you guys. I do not think it will let me just post it. Well, that's stupid. I don't know, is it possible for you to show it to them based off my character sheet?
Let me see what I can do here. So, let's see. Where are you there? So, yeah, here we go. This should work. I clicked show to players. Is it popping up on your guys' screen at all?
Nope.
I'm not seeing anything, no.
Well,
I think it has to be set as visible to us for us to see it,
Okay. Well, let's see then.
or else it only pops up for designated
while
players.
you work that out. Oh my goodness, now technology hates me.
Still, I love technology.
Okay, so yeah, I'm yeah, human. I got pale skin. I'm look to be about 20 years old, so I have an age increase from my last character.
She's legal now.
Yes. Yeah, kind of shy demeanor. Probably at this moment look pretty raggedy, washed up, like I just, got picked up out
Here
of
we
the
go.
Oh, there we go.
There's a picture.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Got kind of like a auburnish red hair. Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry. My computer is
Nice.
having issues. Anyway, yeah. So that's what my character looks like. I don't know if you want to know other stuff about me or if you'll just figure that out.
That can come as we move along here.
Process.
But as Major Ursa bursts through the door and invites the two of you in, he calls out to you, and he says, "Lena, looks like we've got some guests here. Hope you don't mind. Looks like some more stragglers like yourself. Pay them no mind. We've got to discuss some business, though. Just ignore us if you want." And he sort of gestures to the two of you to come, and he points to some seats around a small table in sort of the kitchen larder area, offers you a seat, basically.
I go and sit.
Yeah, Varys would sit.
And as he sits down himself, he calls over to Lena again and says, Lena, you need anything over there? Are you recovering okay?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
Need some more food or tea?
No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Very well. And he turns to the two of you at the table and just says, so, that bloody fool Torben wants you to go to the island, huh?
Yep.
What's the play?
They want us to land on the island and make sure everything is cleared out so that they can take control of it.
What you doing, boo?
They warn you
What are you
about the
shopping?
dangers, I suppose. The
Landers.
undead, hordes of skeletons that rip men apart limb from limb,
They have
evil
mentioned
clerics that worship a dark god.
they're also apparently dead, but we're assuming the undead aren't dead. So
Well, if you climb the lighthouse yourself, you can see the island from here. I've seen the smoke rising from there for several days now. Not too long after it burned down, this one here got washed up on shore. Could be a straggler, but I don't judge. But if you're looking to go there, you're gonna want to know a few things first, or else you're gonna die. Savvy? The only safe place to get ashore on the reef-ringed rocky little island is a large sandy beach at the southern tip. The rest of it is sheer cliffs and reefs and ragged, jagged rocks that'll prevent you from climbing up. But the beach itself is known as the Skull Dunes. The dunes themselves are full of undead, because the damn clerics of the abbey created an army of skeletons to guard the beach from any invaders. Keep their dealings nice and secure like. The skeletons, from what we see, hide under the sand itself, lying in wait for anyone who comes near. Nearly impossible to detect from what I understand. And then they ambush you, pull you underneath, and tear you limb from limb. Sure you can see why the guild isn't too keen to take this mission themselves, eh?
yeah,
If you happen to get through that, assuming that the pirates that raided the island are able to kill all the clerics, perhaps you'll be free and clear, but otherwise you're going to be dealing with those nasty folk, if any of them are left. Doesn't sound like the best idea to me. I reckon you're probably walking into your own deaths. But nonetheless, you can do what you please. Those pirates, though, they did get ashore somehow. Not entirely sure, but they managed to get past the skeletons and burn the abbey to the ground. So there's probably a path through the undead there in the Skull Dunes. But finding it, well, that's going to be the problem. You see, the mariners themselves, they didn't catch up with the pirates till after they left the island. They'd taken as good as they got. Nearly half of them were slaughtered, it seems. We made chase and sunk 2 of their vessels, but one of them managed to get away. Any stragglers that were left behind were either killed by the undead on the beaches or eaten by the sharks. So we weren't exactly able to interrogate them, as it were, to see how they did it, per se. So your guess is as good as mine how you're going to get past that. But as for the abbey, who knows for sure? We never got anywhere near the place. Smoke rose from the island for days after the pirates attacked. Maybe that means the island's been abandoned, or maybe the abbey burned and the clerics are waiting to rebuild. I don't know. But I guess that's what they hired you to find out now, isn't it?
yep, yeah.
Would Lena have any information on how they got past the skeletons?
My character, who in the corner, from the corner, has been watching with like big eyes of interest. As soon as you say her name, she's gonna like look down at her teeth, and then like kind of look back up at you. They use a magic stick to cross the deserts. It's
You know, you
also
don't have to answer any of their questions, Lena, if you don't want to.
It's okay. I don't mind helping, but I
We're
don't
not
know.
here to interrogate or intimidate. We're just trying to find as much information as we can to safely get onto the island.
Listen, never talk to the cops and always plead the Fifth Amendment in any situation. Sorry.
We're assuming we're a cop.
I'm like,
We're not.
Lena's just holding her tea, looking at him like.
If there are any cops in D&D, it's paladins.
Well, then you have a cop here. Varys is a paladin.
Darn it. We do have a cop.
We do have a cop. Anyway,
Yeah.
So a magic stick, you say? Like, is there any? Do you have any more information on that? Is that something we could obtain?
It's like really long and tall, and they hold it above their head, and they recite stuff as they walk through the desert.
Well, that is not helpful at all. Thank you.
I don't reckon that's how the pirates got through, though.
I didn't
Even if
see
that be the case.
I didn't see the pirates until after they started attacking. You could try to climb the cliffs. It would be probably pretty difficult, though.
Especially
don't
for our
follow
dwarven friend.
Yeah.
Well, I would say I would then turn to Major Ursa. Would you have any other advice for us?
That's the best I can do for you, I'm afraid. Never stepped foot on the place myself. That one over there probably has more info than I do. All I can tell you
You're like a weasel.
is
You're
that
half weasel, half cat.
old Porbin sent you on a suicide mission, if you ask me. I've seen the skeletons attack people from a distance. It isn't pretty.
Alright, well, I guess we'll ask Lena if she has any more advice that could help us besides the cliffs.
One sec. My phone is giving me fits again.
What is this? What is this phone you speak of?
What? Fahone? Phone?
Pihone?
Fihone?
I realized we just sent the cop and the robber in. We sent the smuggler and the paladin, so we sent the cop and robber in.
You did.
Nice.
You did.
Sorry, I'm
Absolutely.
like trying to pull
Little good
up
cop, bad cop.
the notes I've got.
And I'm wild card.
Honestly, I didn't see much of the Abbey. But if we got inside, I might be able to recognize some of the corridors.
Were you part of the dark cult?
Not really.
Stay there.
And I'm just gonna take another sip of my tea. I didn't really like them much. They weren't very nice.
About 5 minutes before I had a chance to walk away. Sorry.
So that's a yes? Like an initiate?
Me? my parents wanted me to be, but it wasn't really for me.
All right, very well. Well, I guess with that information, we head out.
About this time, Major Ursa gets up and goes over to what looks like an already steaming tea kettle and pours a couple cups, brings them over to the table and places it in front of the two of you here. Now, two of you look like sensible folk.
What?
I recommend
Girl,
you steer clear. I'm sure
you coming?
that Torben gave you plenty of coin, ample reason to go there. But really, why go through all the trouble?
No, don't fight them.
Seems like a
Let me just
bloody
go to
mess to
Dally.
me.
Let me just go to
We
Dally.
don't get a choice.
Oh, yeah. Get those hands
Why not?
going. Oh, yeah.
Because we work for the town council of Saltmarsh, and
I got a picture if you'd like.
they're telling us to go.
1 gallon picture.
Wait, are you like they're slaves or something? I thought they outlawed slavery.
The getter paws.
Didn't King?
Mercenaries for hire.
I was gonna
but-
say I thought
Contracted to
Keelan
work
had. I could have sworn that Keelan had outlawed slavery years ago.
They did. We just owe
We
them.
we work for them, not we're not slaves to them. They pay us.
Working when you ain't got a choice to say no.
I mean, she might not, but the rest of us have a choice.
Well, the two of you seem nice enough. Your friend down below seemed a little daft, but you're welcome to rest here. It's a bit humble, as it were. Like
Let's go
out.
outside and it's not raining.
There you go.
You are warm. Gross.
First is
Go on in
very
here.
nice. Auntie
Here,
makes good
come
tea.
back on your ball.
Thank you, darling.
Come on. Go find you.
Blushes a little bit around his cheeks when you say that.
We appreciate your hospitality. What like is it still early in the day?
So, assuming that you left from the council, and shoved right off immediately, it's been maybe a few hours to get here.
So it's
Maybe
probably
like
like
4
mid
or
to
5.
late day.
Yeah, it's like getting,
it was
getting to like
midday
evening-ish.
at the meeting, so
Yeah.
it's probably more like evening.
Mm.
So we should probably take him up on his offer and maybe head out in the morning.
So who's gonna tell Gardain we're waiting?
I mean, we can stay on the ship also. I mean, Varys is going to stay on the ship. So Varys can go back now. You guys can stay and converse with Lena and Major Ursa if you like. But Varys will look at Ashari and Major Ursa and say, well, I think I will head back to the ship and inform the rest of our crew that we will be departing in the morning. Thank you for the tea, Major Ursa, and the hospitality.
He gives you a nod. Right.
And then Varys will walk out.
Easy enough. Shari, what are you doing then?
1 second.
Varys
There's,
will pass by Dimitri and let him know, like, hey, they're still talking in there, but I'm heading back to the ship. But we're probably gonna just rest and make camp for the night, either on the ship or you can rest on the island if you like.
Roger, Captain.
Carry on.
So I nod and say thanks and tell them I will stay on the island to talk to Lena a little bit more, just to see if I can like jog anything. But I go out to talk to them because either Dimitri's staying here or he's going back with Varys because either way he's not swimming. So, just like go out, follow them to see like what Dimitri's going to do.
Dimitri.
Hmm?
You
Am
see
I-
Ashari. Ashari comes down a little bit after Varys.
First mate.
Are you going with Varys or are you going to stay here for the night?
Well,
He's taking the.
I don't know if I want to stay in the home of someone who doesn't even know what a scion is. I have standards. So, I'll see you on the ship. And I'll walk off.
Okay. I'm gonna stay here for the night. Don't leave without me.
I will try to remember.
You don't want me tracking you down, Dimitri.
Right.
And no magic on the ship. No magic on the ship.
Been practicing that
I'll walk
evil
off.
laugh, I see. Alrighty. Is there anything you guys want to do in the evening?
I'd like to practice magic on the ship with Meepo.
Okay. Yeah, you have an eager and attentive little kobold dancing around and just blasting eldritch blasts. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Meepo has power! It's going to his head. You can clearly see as you sort of coach him and coax him along.
And I'll
And then we'll
I'll
over
spend the
the-
evening trying to teach him the importance of precision and control.
It doesn't go well. And you see as he makes a couple like blast marks on the deck and the railings and even on the main mast, as some of his blasts are just not under his control fully at the moment. But he seems like he's having fun.
Yeah. I'll give him some demonstrations. I'll just I'll show him like the web spell when I let my magic just disperse out of me and go wild, and then I'll show him the Shadow Blade spell after that. What happens when I condense and make it precise, and what's possible when you learn control.
His eyes just get wide, and you feel like 50% of it is just going straight over his head. His
I
little
respect it,
brain.
yeah.
But he's picking up on little bits and pieces there, and yeah, who knows what will come of it? We'll see.
Keep at it. But get the goblins to clean your mess up. I'm retiring for the night.
Wait, hold on. Meepo can boss goblins?
Well, yeah. You've got magic. You're essentially a more important being now. They're lesser beings because they can't use magic.
I
Always
see.
remember that.
Meepo understands. And you watch as he immediately runs over to one of the goblins, I believe the one by the name of Tyne, and he just starts barking orders at him. And Tyne is not happy about it.
All is right in the world.
You think it could come to blows before too long, but yeah, the squabbling continues on the ship well into the night. Gardane, I think you said you wanted to do some training with
Yes.
your pseudo dragon.
How to train a dragon.
Hey, so what were you trying to get across here?
I'm trying to train Kata to where when I give her a command, she will go retrieve an object for me. So if I see something, or like if she needs to press a lever or something, I could just be like, go. and she can do
We'll
it.
say one or the other. Which do you wanna work on?
Retrieving.
Okay, sure. With a
So
19,
playing
it
fetch.
goes surprisingly well. You start with different objects, so it's not just the same thing
Right,
over and over
right.
again. And eventually, you're able to just point at a specific object on the deck, and she'll fly over to it, grab it in her tiny little talons, and then come and perch on your shoulder.
Perfect. I give her a little bit of meat every time she successfully does it.
Gobbles it up. She's loving it.
Nice.
Nice little bit of bonding time between you and your pseudo dragon.
Yes.
But yeah, you feel pretty confident that you can probably replicate that with her in the future.
Good.
Have her just go grab little things for you. Nothing too big, but small things.
Yeah.
She's just a small pseudo dragon. And what about the rest of you here?
I think Varys. Go ahead.
Or Varys? Yeah.
I was just gonna say I think Varys would just go to his quarters for the night.
Fair enough. Bashar?
I want to sit down and talk to Lena and talk to her and ask her about if she grew up on the Isle, what it's kind of like, what she saw when she was there, type thing. Those things.
As a side note, before perhaps your conversation begins, since you're the only one staying in the little lighthouse with Lena and the Major, he actually cooks up a pretty nice meal, probably better than what you would have gotten back on the ship tonight with rations and whatnot. Like a nice little haunch of veal that he's cooked and roasted up with some vegetables and things, but it's quite good.
Yay!
Serves it to you all for dinner.
I'll go with that. There's gotta be some bonuses of being the one that can swim back to the ship in the morning. Yeah, just eat. Find out maybe there's gaps in the. My brain's working. I know it is. So because there's only the south side open, if there's any types of gaps in the cliff face on the other sides of the Isle or anything like that they've noticed from being around the Isle.
Are you asking Lena specifically, or?
I'm asking Major Ursa.
Okay.
Guess just because he's been sailing around it a lot. Maybe if he thinks on it, there might be a gaps or something like that.
Here's what I can tell you. Everything but that southern tip, where the Skull Dunes begins, is pretty much covered in rocky outcroppings and jagged shoals that make it very difficult to get any ship close. Now you could park a good ways away from there, and then swim for it, and try and climb the cliff sides, but that's gonna be dangerous in its own right. You fall from those rocky cliffs and you're gonna fall down and probably impale yourselves on the rocks below. Not a pretty way to die, if you get my meaning. But you could do it. It's not impossible, just difficult.
Okay. And then just turning to Lena and saying asking her kind of what does she remember of the Isle, anything like that.
I'm just gonna keep my tea. Bad things happen bad things happen at the Abbey. I don't like to talk about it much. But I was happy when the pirates attacked, because then I was able to escape down the cliffs. Well, Actually, I jumped. I didn't know there was rocks at the bottom, but luckily I missed them.
It's a mighty brave thing you did there.
Like, you really trying me on some lame ass shit. You can't answer your motherfucking phone, stupid ass boy. What, you been at a bitch house? You really trying me like I'm a lame. Where the fuck you been? You can't hear, you can't talk, nigga.
And
I don't want no motherfucking food. The fuck?
Hey, I won't argue with that. And he takes another sip.
Oh shit.
Other than that, just kind of like spending the night with them.
Oh.
Swapping stories.
Hey, baby.
No. I got a few smugglers.
You had a good day? Can I
That
say?
wolf killed.
He kind of gives you, Major Ursa kind of gives you some side looks with that. He was a part of the Mariners Guild. Part of their job was dealing with stuff like that, you know. But he sort of gives you a side eye, but doesn't point it out.
Nothing too illegal sounding. I know better.
My character is gonna like seem way more interested listening to your stories than telling her own, and she's just gonna have like the big eyes and be like, "Wow, you were so brave," and like be really impressed at all the stories you're telling her.
Yeah, that's about it. Get some sleep.
So did you really run an entire supply across the battlefield? I heard.
Yeah, let's just say that one. That one was a bit crazy, but it paid really well at the end.
I imagine so. It damn well better, or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, it was nice. Just about took off the guy that hired me's head, but yeah, it was nice. He paid well.
Well, I guess in the end, that's what matters for you then.
Yep.
Well, sure seems you're doing a bit more altruistic work these days.
Yeah. Trying to find some more value in my life than just stealing things from bad people to give to more bad people.
I drink to that, to finding value for those around us. And he kind of lifts up his little teacup, takes a sip. Well, I need to be lighting the White House as it's getting dark. And he trudges up, leaving the two of you alone. Gets to work upstairs, lighting the fire. You can hear him working and whatnot up there.
Get on. I'm gonna yawn to you. Yeah.
Yawning's contagious. You know,
Sorry.
You've been too TV.
That's my character also getting tired and deciding to turn in.
All right. So if there's nothing else, then you all retire for the night. It's fairly peaceful and uneventful. But the morning comes as the sun breaks over the ocean once again. What are you guys doing as you awaken on this new day?
I think Gardain would awaken and have some of his mead to start the day off.
Still tastes bad. But, it does wake you up for sure.
Well, that's a good way to get the morning started.
Yep. For sure.
Well, guess he would wait for everybody else to come aboard or on deck. Varys would walk out and he would say, "Yeah, you know, where's the Shari? What happened? What happened on the Isle last night?" And they would discuss.
Definitely get you up to date on things for sure, or at least I assume.
Yes. Gardain's very confused, like, "Oh, well, I thought all the undead were gone. Now we have to climb cliffs? This doesn't sound good." Then I guess Varys and Gardain would just wait for Ashari to return.
Dimitri, what are you doing this morning?
I'll just be standing in the doorway. There you go. Nice place you got.
Why don't you go get ready for bed and I'll be right back, okay?
I'm gonna ask Ashari a question.
Go ahead. Sorry, my my laptop is about to die, so I had to go get the plug.
No, you're good. I wasn't like my character's worked up her courage all night to finally ask you this. So gonna look at you and be like, can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead. I'm like packing my bag, packing anything that I pulled out that was with me.
Okay, I'm just gonna be like tentatively like looking around you as you're packing everything because I don't have anything to pack.
I'll glance up at her like, sure, go ahead, and I just like go back to packing real fast.
So, where do people like you live? Or like where do you come from?
Like me as in like sea elf? Like my race?
Yes?
You can't just say you
like
people.
your pointy, like your ears and like your skin. I'm wondering where you come from.
Well, I'm a sea elf from what's called the deep sea. There are various kinds of sea elves. Some are coastal and some aren't. I come from deeper down into like the colder water areas.
Really? Do you live down there all the time?
Mm-hmm. No, I can't. I haven't been down there in a long time.
Wow. That seems like a really cool place to live. I'd like to live there someday.
Oh, kinda. I found it stifling, so I left when I could.
Well, if it's stifling, then maybe we can just visit.
Yes.
That would be really cool. Okay, she's satisfied with your answer. She's happy.
Good to know.
She's quite pleased that she worked up the courage to ask you a question.
Very glad that you asked.
Well, we going?
Well, we're just waiting on Ashari to return, so.
I'm working on it. It's still fairly early.
Gardain was telling Dimitri that. I mean, you're on the island.
I finished packing, throw my bag on my bag, because I know I brought it with me. And
Don't leave without a shard. I feel like we're forgetting something. Probably not that important.
I will chase you. I will find a way on that island without you. I like say, I go say goodbye to Major Ursa, nod to Lena, and like as I'm gonna start heading out to go back to the ship. Just saying like thank you for all the info you've given us. Have a good day.
Just clarifying at this point, because you guys did already ask me to come with you to
Yes.
the island, right?
I believe.
Did you?
It's like I am expected to follow you. Okay, cool.
I mean, Varys never asked.
I actually don't remember that happening. I thought.
Yeah, Varys. Nope. Varys never asked that.
Well, nice to meet you. See ya.
Would be a good idea.
Your dungeon master was under the impression that Lena just isn't gonna come now.
Well,
Varys.
But
distracted about that time because my dad was burning pie, of all things.
I see.
So I didn't hear exactly what Varys was asking, so I thought he asked her about that.
Y'all were making me sweat over here. I'm like, is the
Okay.
new character not going to join the party? What's going on?
Rephrase,
gonna
I'm gonna bring
rewind.
Lena.
And you did ask me, and then fast forward again to this point.
Okay, all right, yeah.
We're
all
gonna
right.
do it that way. I assumed.
While we're rewinding too, can we say that we alerted the council before we left for 2 weeks too? Since we're rewinding things.
Well, I mean,
Not that
they
far.
sent us on
Later.
this.
Like, it's a good thing Myra
I-
wasn't there for that one. She would have, like, on the way out the door, turned around and be like, "Oh, by the way, Council, we're leaving for a couple weeks. We'll let you know when we're back." But she wasn't
Too
there,
funny.
so.
Yep, we undid the chewing out. No, that still happened. Sorry, that still happened. Still got chewed out.
Awesome.
Still got chewed out. Sorry.
Okay, so now
Okay,
that
all right.
I'm going with you.
Now that we've established.
That you're coming with us, so say goodbye to the major, and then look towards Lena, seeing if she is actually going to come with us.
As that happens, you're looking back to her. Lena is perhaps maybe not quite following yet. The major turns to you, Lena, and says, "Are you sure about this? You just got away from there. This is gonna be dangerous. You could just stay here."
Well, that's true, but I think it might be nice to go back and notice that there's nothing scary there anymore. Well, other than the other monsters, but those aren't very scary in comparison to the clerics. So, and then I'm gonna hug Major Ursa and just be like, "But thank you so much for the tea and the good food."
So he's like shocked. 'Cause he's like really big, like big dude, right? So like you get like around his waist basically and hug him, and he's like a little awkward about it. He's like not expecting it at all, and then he kind of like softens and hugs you back, and you can kind of tell that he's a bit touched and whatnot. And he's like, "Go on then. You're always welcome here at my lighthouse. Take care of yourself, Lena."
How am I going to go with
Awesome. As I'm leaving, I'm gonna like kind of like stop one more time, like as we're kind of like headed off the property, and just like turn around and like kind of wave at him and be like, "I'll come visit," and then leave. So.
And he waves back a little bit, looks a little somber, but doesn't protest anymore. As you make your way down the rocky bit of stairs to the little bit of beach and trees and whatnot, and you find yourselves seeing the ship out there a ways in the water from the island. Just
what's the
kinda
ways?
floating there. Not super far. It's
Not
fairly
super
close.
far. I could swim with her.
Easily enough, yeah.
Well then, I'm gonna like hold my hand out to her, like, "You coming?"
And I am not even going to like question, or I'm not even going to like seem as if that's weird. I'm just gonna like walk out into the water with you, like ready for this swim.
Well then, I grab onto her and I start swimming like double speed as fast as I can, which really isn't going to be fast. It's going to probably be my normal swim speed if I'm dashing type thing.
Yep. And it doesn't take too long. Find yourselves, and you watch as one of the goblin members of the crew throws down a little rope ladder for you to climb up, clamber your way up onto the side of the Sea Ghost and onto the
And I
deck.
let her go up first.
And Lena, for you, this is probably quite the sight. You've lived a bit of a sheltered existence, and you
Oh, I forgot to warn her.
I'm like,
you see a
I've only seen
kobold.
this
You
big
see-
in the distance from my window.
You see goblins and a kobold. You don't know what these things are necessarily, but strange little people, and like
I'm going to at least pre-warn her
Or-
about the flashiness Dimitri.
I will say, chances are I have seen some of them. I just probably haven't actually interacted with
Yeah.
any of them. I've
This
seen
is
them.
definitely the closest you've been to most of these strange new races of people. Not just sea elves, but like a normal elf and whatnot, and humans. You've been around plenty, but a dwarf? What? Goblins and kobolds on this ship? It's probably a bit much, but yeah, bustling about, running around the ship, doing their chores and things like that, and getting the ship ready to shove off and set sail.
Okay.
Another human? Finally! Welcome to the Scions. The name is Dark. Dimitri Dark. I'm a Scion of Darkness. Champion of the Dark Goddess. Holder of the Fell Hand. Breaker of chains. Watcher of night. Bearer of the shining Eye of Justice! And I'll just
I'm
keep
going
going on
to-
and on with titles until you stop me.
I am going to hide a little bit behind Ashari and ask if he's also one of the cult members.
He's not. No
Okay.
worries. He's
Alright.
not.
Are you okay?
Is he nice to people?
Yeah, just a little much.
Is he safe to be around?
He won't hurt
Okay.
There's no safer place than
you.
behind me.
He's just flashy.
Like,
Dramatic would be a good word for him.
a lot of the
A
priests
good hero
on
has
the
presentation.
island were flashy, as you say, as well.
I then guide Lena over to where Gardain is to introduce her to Gardain too.
Oh, hello. I'm Gardain. I'm a
I'm
cleric.
gonna kind of like whisper a hi and like a wave to like Dimitri as I walk by, you know, just because I don't want to be rude. Hi. And then just keep walking by to Shari.
Well, hello.
Sorry,
I am Gardain, a cleric of the dwarven god Muamon. Do a thing? Do it thou? Do a thing?
Thal.
Thal? Do it thal?
I think so.
I don't even know my own god's name. It's sad. I've had a little bit of mead this morning. I've had a little bit of mead this morning. Speaking of, do you like mead?
Don't
Want some?
drink
You want
it.
some mead? No? Okay. All right. Well.
I'm just gonna be like confused looking between the two of them.
I'm just gonna be like,
Alright,
don't do it.
You look at me and I'll also be.
Maybe
My
not
head.
at this moment, but it's very nice of you.
I'll just be like, well, you know where to get some if you need some.
Like a little hair of the dog.
Only a dwarf could stomach that stuff.
Alright, well, just let me know if you need some clerical duties or anything, you know. Welcome aboard.
I'm gonna like turn to Shari and be like, he's also a cleric.
Ooh.
But he's a good cleric.
Okay, he's nice.
Yes,
Okay.
he's nice. His god is nice. He is nice. He's not an evil cleric.
Okay.
He's good.
Ah, you know, if you have questions, I can tell you about my god. If you care to know.
Gardain's going into full missionary mode.
For a dwarven god.
Let me tell you
That's
about
a
our
hard sell for
Lord and
everyone.
Savior Muamon Duathal. Anyway, sorry.
And I'm assuming Varys is standing on the top deck where the
Yeah, he's at the helm,
Yeah.
you know, giving orders and whatnot.
At the
just
helm.
saying.
and so like I just kind of like wave at him saying like, hey, I'm here, we can go now. Or like yell out to him, hey Varys.
Ah, Lena,
Yeah,
I
I
see you are accompanying us on this voyage. You're gonna go back to the island?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah,
The only Lena I know.
Sorry, I didn't hear you say Lena. Yeah, gonna try to help.
Oh, you're gonna show us how to safely get on the island then. Good. All right, well. And then he'll look at the first mate and be like, all right, pull anchor. Let's go.
First mate, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh boy. So yeah, after making some adjustments and calling out some orders, the ship gets turned around and you catch the wind heading in the direction of the Isle of the Abbey, which you can see in the distance. Looks like it's not going to take you very long to get there.
As we sail there, what is Lena wearing?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like,
I am wearing clothes, okay?
well, yeah, obviously clothes, but like, what do they look like? They're going to survive a fight, or are they going to be like, I'm going to get in a fight and all of a sudden I'm naked? Degree of wear and tear.
So I
Just
do
going
have
in with a
some
loincloth
leather
and a wooden
armor.
club.
Huh?
I do have some leather armor.
You have some leather armor.
Yeah, I have leather armor on. So some light leather armor. Actually, it probably looks pretty never before used.
Practically brand new. Yeah.
Yeah, because I stole it as I fled the island.
Okay.
But yes, other than that, underneath I'm probably just wearing some pretty basic clothing, like loose fitted clothing, some
Like
pants.
like denim and a flannel shirt or that kind of
Corduroy,
basic.
actually. Corduroy.
Just like
You're probably like a cotton shirt and cotton pants.
exactly.
You got
Like,
the Supreme
brown
hoodie on.
cotton pants and like a cotton shirt.
Air
yeah.
Jordan 1s.
Boots.
Yeah,
Rockin'
some
Jordan.
boots, some leather boots, light leather boots.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, like, your picture shows rags.
Does anyone want to know what Dimitri's wearing?
I'm probably
In the picture,
honestly
she's wearing like a raggedy-looking dress top.
the cotton itself probably might have some tears in it. The cotton itself probably isn't the best of quality. It's probably pretty close to that, but at least I've got leather armor on top.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take her to my cabin and like show her that, like, give her like a set of my spare clothes, like slightly nicer pants that are gonna hold up a little bit better because they're heavier materials than cotton. A nicer shirt, like just like put these on underneath your armor so that you're protected, please. And then I'm going to find out if she has a weapon or her weapon of choice. Because I've got plenty of those at this moment.
She's been
So
sharpening them for 2 weeks straight.
I anxious sharpen, okay? It's my tip.
okay, so when I switch outfits, Ashari, you will notice I am wearing some sort of long chain with a jewel on it. Also, I do have quite a bit of scarring on me, like lots of scars. And I do tell you that I've got a quarterstaff and a
Scimitar.
Scimitar, sorry. And a scimitar.
Shrewd.
I look at her scimitar to see if it's sharp.
Check her
I'm
quarterstaff
the
too.
party upkeeper. Come on. And then I'm gonna pass her a couple daggers, just so that she has something that's closer range, just in case she needs it. Because I have like 6. So I'm gonna give her 2 daggers, just so that she has them. And I'm gonna go sharpen her scimitar while she's changing.
Okay.
Because I'd feel more comfortable having you have a full range of weaponry. Bow staff, sword, dagger. Because if you lose one, at least you can pull the dagger out and stab someone in the eye.
Good to know. I'm gonna be like taking notes, like as you're telling me to stab someone in the eye.
That's fine. Just don't stab people you know.
Got it.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys make your way, headed towards the island at this point, sailing in the morning light. It doesn't take super long for you to get there, maybe another hour or so from the lighthouse. As the island slowly grows in size, you can tell that it isn't a huge island, certainly bigger than the one you just came from with the lighthouse. Maybe a mile across, maybe 2 miles long at most, running from north to south. But what would you guys like to do as you approach this place?
I do want to look at Ashari and be like, also, I know how to use a scythe if you guys happen to have one.
Hint,
I want a
hint,
scythe.
wink, wink.
Almost
I go
as if
scrounge
it's
to the
an
pile of
item you
things
picked up
Myra
off
had.
Myra's body.
I dig through the small pile of things I have of Myra's and pull out the scythe. Scythes? Did she have two?
I just had one as my
Okay, I pull out the single scythe.
and some gardening shears. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. You don't have
I'm really good with gardening
An
shears.
herbalism kit if you have it. I don't know. Just
Good, you're great at herbology then.
I'm also really good with immovable rods, just random items.
Just, I have some experience back in college. It's no big deal.
Took a class, elective.
I love it. But what are you guys doing as you are approaching this island?
I'm jumping off the ship towards the island. Just kidding, no. I will try to perceive though if I see any movement on it from where we are
Sure.
with my godlike perception.
All right. So with a 10, it looks like a fairly deserted island. There doesn't appear to be a lot of vegetation. You can see that the description you've been given thus far by others is fairly accurate. Like pretty rocky, steep cliffs around most of it, and what appears to be like a sandy beach on the southern tip, where there doesn't appear to be as many rocks and things in the way that would allow for an easier approach. But that's about all you can see. You don't notice any movement or like people that are visible from your guys' vantage point on the ship. And are you guys just approaching? You've been coming from like the south, headed north. Did you want to approach from a different direction or anything like that, or what do you want to do?
While we're sailing close to this thing, me and Varys kind of relay what we learned about the island, and like the sheer cliff facing, and like really only one entrance, lots of zombies, undead, skeletons. Sorry, undead. Not sure how well this is gonna go over. Got any ideas?
Whoa.
Well,
Clerics and paladins have some way to detect undead, do they not?
We do.
can't
Channel
they
divinity.
turn
So I know
I know you guys have done that. At least one of you did.
paladins have divine sense, right? Trying to check Varys' stuff. Sorry. Yeah, divine sense. I don't know what the range is on that though.
Let's see.
Are we close to the beach?
That depends. That's kind of what I was asking. Like,
Because I would say,
you want to approach.
like, if we decide to approach on the dinghy or whatever, Varys will use Divine Sense as we get close.
It's 60 feet is the range.
Yeah. So then,
That's not trying to recover.
so really, we just need to decide whether we're going to approach this by the beachfront, or are we going to try and go through the back door, cliff-wise.
I'd say with the timely loss of our rope of climbing might not be the best idea.
Timely loss of the rope of climbing. And the movable rod can only do so much.
Yeah.
So the beach it is.
Let's go to the beach.
Okay.
But if they're
so
hiding under the sand, isn't that total cover?
I don't
Like-
know.
His sense isn't going to work on something hidden. Even if we know about it.
You got danger sense though.
I do.
Got divine sense and danger sense.
That only gives me an edge on dexterity saving throws.
Ah, sure. We'll be fine.
Okay. Well, if you guys are going to simply approach from the south, then I can go ahead and move you then.
Yeah.
Map here and give you a little bit of a view of what you're seeing.
Yeah.
1 second.
Divine Sense doesn't say anything about. It just says you can detect anything.
Within 60 feet.
Oh, it says not
As long
behind
as
total
it's-
cover. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like I just looked at it in the paladin thing.
Yeah, it says not behind total cover. So
Mm-hmm.
So as you approach, this is kind of like the distant view of what you're going to see if you scroll down to the bottom of the map here. You can kind of see this southern tip of the island with rocky shoals and this sandy dune at the bottom here. You can probably see a little bit more, I guess, so I'll reveal a bit more up here. 1 second. You can probably see about there from the ocean. You can kind of see the
So-
rocky shoals and things and the cliff sides as you go further, either to the east or west, headed north. And
Should
then
we
see this
do-
opening down at the southern tip
So-
as you guys are approaching in the boat?
Question. Is there a fairly decent gap between the sandy shoal here and this little pile of rocks? Or is it like right up against those rocks? Like there looks to be a gap.
So there is a gap, but that gap is pretty, like you couldn't get your boat through there, if that's what you're asking.
Well, like more like a dinghy.
Perhaps, maybe. You certainly could try to get to the cliffside if you wanted.
Well,
Might be a little
Yeah.
treacherous with the rocks and things.
well,
But you'd
I
have to
was
get-
thinking of like getting off on the corner of these sandy dunes and booking it, not going across the entirety of the sandy dunes. That's suicide. Sneaking around the edge is a little less suicidal.
So I'm thinking maybe with our large ship we should do a lap around the island to see what we can see before we land anywhere.
And then we can like look and see if there's any caves or anything.
That's certainly an option if you guys want to.
I think we should probably do that just so that we can see, maybe find a hole in the rock cliff face or something. It's just big enough for a ship.
Okay.
Pirates
All right.
had to get there somewhere.
Yeah, so that's going to take a little bit of time catching the wind and going around it, you know, a couple miles of sailing to get all the way around the circumference of this thing and back down to the southern tip. But it's easy enough to do, and there's not really anything obstructing you. I would like you guys to, you know, how close are you going to get to these rocks and stuff as you're surveying? Because that's going to make a difference on like what you can see on the island. and
Yeah.
things,
I mean,
as well as how difficult it might be to steer the ship if you're getting
Yeah.
close to the rocks or not. So
I would say Varys and the crew would probably not want to get any closer than 50 feet next to rocks that they think will hit the ship.
okay, 50 feet. Alrighty.
Or 50 yards, rather, not 50 feet. What is it? 50, so maybe 150 feet.
So like
50
half a
yards.
football field.
Yeah,
Half a football field. Okay.
that's what I would say.
I'm gonna climb up into the crow's nest
Okay.
and proceed from there.
Okay.
Just to, like, see higher and farther
What the
out.
fuck?
So,
Observe the goblins.
you're gonna what?
Observe the goblins with great interest.
Yeah, sure. They're doing basic chores around the ship at the moment, tying knots and things, listening to the commands, mostly coming from Varys and whatnot. They do kind of notice you watching them, and they kind of like squabble at each other in a language you don't understand. Like, one of them stops, like, "What are you looking at?"
I'm looking at you. Hi.
"Oh, stop that!" And then goes back to work and continues doing his stuff. But for Varys here, given what you told me and what he wants to accomplish there, I'm going to need a survival check to see how well he does steering the vehicle. He will get to add proficiency if he isn't already proficient in survival. He can add his proficiency bonus to the roll simply because he has proficiency with the ship, basically, as a sailor and whatnot. Okay. Did he already have proficiency in survival?
He didn't, but I clicked on it and then rolled and then unclicked it.
Okay. All right. So it's already added in. So 14. Okay. So with a 14, you are able at that distance to successfully navigate around without crashing the ship into any of the rocks or shoals. Okay. And so I'll go ahead and reveal a bit more of the map to you here. You can't see everything from this distance, as the cliffs do get pretty high above the sea level, and above even the crow's nest. But you can see fairly far in, at least to some degree, and that reveals a bit more of what you can see now as you make your circle around this place.
Well, it looks like if we don't want to climb, the southern tip there is our only option.
Mm-hmm. Can
And you
I?
do
Except for right here, whatever this
So
is.
you can go ahead and give me perception checks too as you're doing this, and I can give you, based on those, give you more details and whatnot. So
Come on, Roll 20, be nice to me.
okay,
21!
21's pretty good, and a 3.
That is nice
Do what
to me.
Meepo gets.
All right. So as you guys 0. All right. Meepo is distracted, we'll say. But with a 21 and with that 19 as well, you're able to notice a few things about this. You can't really see the structure of the abbey that's been described. You were told that it probably burnt down, so that could be why. It's so low to the ground, you probably can't see it. You can tell that the average height of these cliffs is probably a good 45 to 60 feet at certain places. And while there appears to be like a number of good handholds for climbing and whatnot, it also looks like it could be slippery wet rock as the waves splash up onto the sides of this island rather frequently. So it could be a difficult and treacherous climb if you were to give that a go. You're not seeing any other real openings where your ship could get close other than this southern tip down here.
Well, it looks like Mother Nature has limited our prospects. So then Varys would probably guide the ship back to the southern tip.
Mm-hmm.
And then
All right. So we'll say you
prepare
guys
the dinghy.
hanging out somewhere around here with your ship. So you're gonna weigh anchor, drop anchor down around here somewhere?
Yeah, I think Varys would probably drop anchor maybe as close to probably about as close as he can get to the southern tip with the ship safely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he knows better than to get too close to even a sandy beach, as you could get yourself caught in the sand and beach your ship, which wouldn't be good. So it's still,
like
have
150
to get
feet.
a little wet probably.
Yeah.
150, 200 feet roughly from the actual beach itself. But yeah, you throwing down the anchor, tying up the sails and everything, and getting the boat nice and stationary, and you guys are sitting there off that southern tip.
Well, I think Gardain and Varys both would just be preparing to get in the dinghy as it's lowered, or before it's
I'll
lowered.
grab Meepo and also jump in La Dinghy.
Ah, you're bringing Meepo along, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna get some real world experience.
Alrighty.
Kato
I
would also
look to
come.
Lena and
Okay. So you guys slowly make your way in after lowering down the little rowboat and start rowing your way up to the shore here. And as you do so, I'm actually going to move you to a closer, more detailed map of this southern section.
Ooh.
So let's go ahead and put you here.
Meepo, do you
Okay.
dislike being looked at?
Nepo kind of turns to you, Lena. Me?
Mm-hmm.
Nepo no care.
Ah, okay, perfect. We should be friends.
as we get closer, can I look to Varys to see if he may be able to sail to like one of the more edged sides that we saw.
So as you guys are like dropping off here on this spot, so each are you guys seeing the grid or just the map?
I can
Yeah, I
see
see the grid.
Okay. So this is a fairly big area. Your ship is probably like right here, and as you guys came forward, you probably landed or got close to the shore right here on this main one. Each of these squares is pretty big. Like we're talking 150 feet per square here. So this is a big sandy, duney
That's
area.
gonna be fun to go through.
And all of this area between the rocks that you see here is fairly shallow.
Okay.
But you guys find yourself kind of coming into the shoreline right here. Now you can choose to shove off again and head somewhere else if you want, but that's kind of where you're starting here.
By the way, is Meepo level 4 like the rest of the party?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's starting out at level 1.
Okay.
We had discussed that before.
I wasn't sure because the sidekick rules say that you could do either.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot
Yeah.
if we had talked about it or not.
We can rediscuss it if you want, but when we talked about it before, that is what we
No,
decided.
whatever you want to do, yeah. Either way works for me. I was just asking because if he was level 4, then I could have rolled him 3d8s for more hit points, but he's gonna stick with level 9 with 9 hit points.
Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do here then for this is we're just gonna take like one token. Who wants to? Unless you guys want to move to a different spot. If you want to try and move up the coast, that's totally up to you. If you want to try and move through the dunes here, you can do that. If you're gonna move through this dune area here, though, I need to know who's gonna be kind of like your leader, leading you through the area, and we'll use their token to kind of represent the group on the map.
I have
Well,
a
I
plus
know.
2 to the survival. Who has one?
To what?
I have a +2 to survival.
Oh, lead the way!
I have a
No,
3.
no. You
No,
stay
Meepo,
in the back.
behind.
Nepo is brave hero.
Yeah.
Meepo.
Be brave hero from the back. You're an intern.
I have a +5 for survival.
Gardain has a
And
3.
Yeah.
you know the
He's
island.
in there. Yeah,
Lena,
you lead.
do you know the territory?
I think I remember it from when we walked through it before.
Can you lead us to the Abbey?
Well, if we walk in a straight line, then yes.
Well, lead on.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna like take my quarterstaff and kind of try to hold it up like I saw them do with the magic stick, but it's not the same.
okay. So, Ashari, you can give me an intelligence check here real quick.
Oh no.
And Lena, you can as well, actually, since you were there as
Oh.
well, talking with Major Ursa.
Well,
12, okay. And then Lena?
Intelligence.
12's really good, right, Dia? It's really good.
15. Okay, so with a 15 then, Lena, you do recall Major Ursa telling you all last night that somehow those pirates got through as well. Not entirely sure how, but you would imagine they didn't have that staff that you remember from when you first came to the island.
If the pirates can do it, we can do it.
Has anyone seen Pacifier?
No.
Pacifier? Like, do we have to do the Peter Panda dance to get through?
Yes. Like there is that
Hop 3 times
ominous
like a
looking
kangaroo.
pirate skull character that's on that sand dune. I don't know.
Ooh.
Or we could try to circle again and see if there's any other coves. The pirates did come quite often to bring things to the priests.
Yeah. I think we circle around as much as we could. I'd say we progress and try to look for markers, maybe, of some kind of clear path for those who were cleared to go in and out.
You mean like the giant skull that's on that sand dune?
Something like that, yeah.
So you probably can't see that from here, but
Oh, okay.
I think that's more aesthetic of the
yeah,
map
it's more
than
aesthetic than anything
physical.
else. Yeah.
Can we look for like
But some kind of marker.
a path? Like see if like there's any type of like common walking spot near us?
Hold on. Here.
Like a trail, that kind of thing.
You certainly can. Whoever's going to lead the way could give us a perception check to look for a trail or a path. Maybe tracks of who came before, maybe.
Yeah, like
So, so who's going to lead? Is it going to be Lena?
Sounds like it.
Okay, so that was a 13.
You guys can't see my rolls, can you? They're all going
No.
straight to Matthew.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should
Same
probably,
as Meepo's rolls.
we should probably fix that. Let's see here.
I had like a +7 for perception. Still rolled a 13. Sorry, guys.
Hold on. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what the fastest way is to fix that.
Oh, wait.
so
I see it.
you
I see it in
roll.
my settings. I think I might have just fixed it. I don't know. I
Let's see.
switched back.
Try rolling something and see.
Yeah, try rolling something and see if everybody else can see it.
Okay. Oh, I will roll a random strength.
Hey, we saw it.
Hey, fantastic. All right, so 13 on that perception check, though,
Yeah.
is what you got there. So as you look around, you actually do see what looks to be footprints in the sand, leading in kind of a winding path before you here. And it looks like they sort of originate here on this next square over and start to move upward.
Ooh.
Awesome. I think I remember being dropped off over here, guys.
Lead on.
Good enough for me.
Okay. We're
So
gonna-
you follow this set of tracks, these trails, perhaps left by the pirates, you're not sure, but things seem fairly quiet, and you see that it seems to lead you off to the right, and a little further, and then suddenly they turn to the north, tracing further this way before suddenly, in front of this one large dune here, they quickly shift back to the left.
I see a pattern here, guys.
I have my sword out just in case.
Same.
Weapons at the ready.
And you make it to here, and suddenly the tracks seem less clear. The trail goes cold, and you're not sure which way to go next. Which, by the way, trudging through this sand and these dunes, this is thick sand. It gets all over the place. It's coarse, awful, gets everywhere.
Well,
No one? Anyone? Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, as Anakin hates the air, basically.
I don't get the
gonna
reference. I'm
proceed
sorry.
this direction.
Okay. So, as you do so, you guys start trudging through this.
Oh, were we not all the way through that already? Wait, let me rethink.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for the path of least sand dunes.
That's probably where you were going, right?
That's what it seems
I
like.
wanted to see if we could like make a break over here, but maybe not. Yeah.
So this is again difficult to get through. Like
Yeah.
trudging through the sand, it is definitely what would be considered difficult terrain, no matter where you go, and it is slow, hard work to trudge through these dunes.
Okay.
And that's where you're gonna move there.
Yep. Onward and upward.
Alrighty. So, what are your passive perceptions?
Mine is 10.
17.
Hey,
Meepo's is 8.
you have someone with some good
Oh.
wisdom on the team right now.
13 and 14.
What was hers? 17?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so you guys have been feeling pretty good. You haven't seen hide nor hair of anything undead like was described to you until now. Everybody but Lena is surprised as bursting from underneath the sand, skeletal hands, rotting flesh come reaching out of the sand, coming up to attack you. We're gonna have
Would
you all
my
roll
danger
some
sense-
initiative.
Would my danger sense let me sense anything like that?
So, read the danger sense to me again. I know that that's for traps. This is
It's really
more...
weird. It's just a weird thing. You gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be, giving you an edge when you dodge away from danger. It's not really a dodge, is it? Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, this isn't so much for
I
surprise.
just like danger sense never seems useful if it is a thing. Because it doesn't do anything.
It is one of those weird ones.
Even though I kind of know like it's a possible thing, so I do know that they exist in there. It's not something like it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Doesn't make danger sense.
Because like I know that these things are under there and they could possibly pop out at any time. So like I'm on edge looking and waiting for them. But danger sense doesn't help me with that, which like it's just weird.
Meepo's staying in the back, by the way.
Okay, Meepo is in the back. And we'll put you guys kind of like that with Lena in the front here. And popping up out from the ground, all around you, a bunch of nasty skeletons. They look absolutely covered in sand, some bits of old dried seaweed and everything coming off of them here. But you're gonna see 8 of these things climb out of the sand with ghastly appearance, heading towards you.
Bring it on.
Oh, do we need to re-roll initiatives?
Let's go ahead and do that real quick. And Colby, can you roll for Meepo here?
Yep. Rolled way higher than I did.
Not nat, but I got a 20. Means I get to go first.
Alrighty. So, roll some initiative for these skeletons here. And again, everybody but Lena is surprised at this moment as they're jumping out of the sand from underneath.
Gardane and Varys are gonna have to be added. The tokens weren't clicked before rolled.
Yeah, they were. I clicked them.
I don't see them on the list. Maybe I'm missing.
Yeah, Varys rolled a 18, Gardane rolled a 5.
I just don't see them on the turn order. That's the thing. I was counting our party members versus all of the skeletons.
Okay. So everybody is on there then? We're good?
I don't see them on the turn order either.
Yeah.
Which
They didn't
ones
get
need
put
to
on
be
the
added?
turn order.
Which one?
Varys and Gardane, I clicked on their tokens before I rolled, but I don't know what happened.
Okay. Let me just go ahead and add
I don't see the turn
those.
order at all, actually.
And what did they get?
Varys got a 18, and Gardane got a 5.
I think they're not showing up because we all had to re-roll. They both had to roll for them a second time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've got our turn order here. At the top of the round,
Okay, cool.
tie goes to the player. It would be Ashari, but she's surprised, so this round she gets no action. After that, one of the skeletons rolled really well, and dashing out from the sand and seemingly unhindered by the difficult terrain of the sandy dunes, this one here rushes up to you, Ashari, and is going to take a nasty swing with what looks like a really rusty, beaten up short sword. And it just kind of, its bones just chatter and crack as it takes its swing at you here.
Oh, more
it rolls
on the
a
effects.
22 for 5 piercing damage.
That hits.
Lena, you are not surprised, so you get your turn this round as you watch these skeletons rise from out of the ground and begin to assail you and your friends.
So am I just watching?
I mean, you can do what you want.
Okay, so like, is it my turn or is...
Yes, it is your turn. You were not
Okay.
surprised because of your perception being so high. So you can move on turn here.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure, like, because when you said you just watch your friends get attacked this round, I was like...
Oh, no, you're good. Sorry about that. No, you get a turn. You can act this round because you were not
Okay.
surprised.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. I'm gonna cast
Shalala.
Shalalala.
Yep.
All right, so your staff crackles with
Quarter staff.
arcane energy.
Yes.
What does that look like when you have this energy flowing through your staff when you cast this?
I didn't know I got to pick that.
Yeah, it's totally whatever you want with that.
You can flavor your spells.
Cool. It's just gonna be kind of like a... It's gonna be kind of like a greenish hue, and it's gonna look almost like a moss pattern, like kind of like as light. I don't know. It's gonna kind of like shift up the staff.
So it's almost like the staff has glowing moss appear on it? Whoosh.
Yes.
Cool, I like it. Yeah, so like this glowing moss just creeps into existence all along your thing as it glows with power now.
And now I'm gonna hit something. I'm gonna run
Alrighty.
over to this one, and by run I mean just calmly move one square to the left, and I'm gonna bop him on the head.
Smack! Let's see that attack. Alrighty. That is a 16 to hit. That will hit. Go ahead and roll the damage. 4 bludgeoning. Wait a second.
Wait, is that with the D8?
There should be a way for you to roll it as the shillelagh to do a D8 instead of a D6.
Okay, I see it now. I have to press the second one. Sorry.
Okay, so now roll the damage with the shillelagh damage there.
Okay, my bad.
There we go. So a D8, it's going to be 7 bludgeoning damage as you crack into this thing, and you watch as several of its ribs just kind of cackle and break off. Parts of its tattered robes just kind of fall with it as well. But it seems unfazed nonetheless.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Alrighty. Next up, this skeleton here is going to trundle forward through the sand. And is going to take a swack here at Dimitri with another rusty short sword.
Hit me with your best shot.
Okay, that's a 14 for 8 piercing.
Yeah, misses.
Alright, you just barely are able to dodge out of the way as he comes after you there. Next up is Varys, who's actually on the order twice. I'll delete one of those. But Varys is up.
Is very surprised.
Yes, you all are surprised actually. So we'll move on to Meepo, who is also surprised. So it is now this skeleton's turn, who's also going to rush forward and take a stab again here at Dimitri. With a natural 20 for 11 piercing damage.
I always get that 20.
He sinks his rusty sword into you. Alright, next up, this one will rush forward here and is going to try and tag Gardain with his sword. He rolls a 20 for 7 piercing damage.
I feel like 2 health points left.
Huh?
Meepo. He's nearly dead.
He attacked Gardain.
Oh, he attacked Gardain. Okay.
Yeah.
My brain thought he was attacking Meepo because he's right next to Meepo.
So that's
Meepo's
7.
right-
Yep, it hit.
Okay, cool. So 7 piercing damage there to Gardain. This one will charge forward here. And is going to take a smack here at Ashari. This one rolls an 11.
Misses.
Okay, and this one will jump forward. And just for good measure, it's going to attack Varys. Rolls an 18 for 7 piercing damage.
Nope.
Does that hit?
Nope, doesn't hit.
What's his
19.
Wow, what's his armor class?
19.
Wow. Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, he's really high on the class.
Alright, Dimitri is still surprised. This skeleton that you attacked, Lena, is going to retaliate against you and swing its short sword in your direction. Rolls a 16 for 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
Gardain is surprised. And we are back here to Lena's turn. Wait, what? No, we got Lena on here twice.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she rolled a 19 and then she rolled a 5.
Okay. So yeah. Actually, we have this last skeleton. Who is going to attack Meepo. What is Meepo's armor class?
It's 13.
13, okay. So he rolls a 10 and misses.
Nice.
Meepo just barely managed to get out of the way. We are back at the top of the round. It is Ashari's turn. You are no longer surprised, and you can act freely.
I would like to rage.
Ah, you hulk out. All right.
And roll my beautiful d8 for 7. Oh! Flowers and vines temporarily grow around you. Until your rage ends, the ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain for your enemies.
Hey, all right, cool. So they're not inhibited by the difficult terrain of the sand, but they will be inhibited by the difficult terrain of your vines. As suddenly, these vines, what do they look like when they spread out from you?
They're oddly enough, it looks like seaweed. It's kelp.
It's
And
like
it's like
kelp.
this
Okay.
kelp is like flowing out, and it's like blooming these really ghostly looking whitish flowers
I love it.
all out in
Fantastic.
15 feet, which is a very large circle.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and I can probably,
Draw a circle,
yeah, hold on here.
and like it moves with me, it sounds like. So if I move, it moves.
So
Which is
15-foot
weird
radius.
timing.
Is it a 15-foot square or a radius, like a circle?
It says the ground within 15 feet of you.
So like
So
a
I'm
radius,
assuming
okay.
it's a radius and not a square. It doesn't define. I'm assuming we can take it as it is.
Okay, so can you see that aura?
Yeah. So everyone.
Oops.
Go.
Yeah, it just says wherever I am.
Fantastic.
Goes around you until your rage ends. I'm not sure if it grows. Like I can move, and it doesn't move with me. It doesn't specify. It's a very short paragraph.
I'll say it moves with you. That's what I
Okay.
that's what I say. Okay, so you are
Oh,
ranged
it's
out
like
with kelp and
slimy,
seaweed.
seaweedy, which means because it only hinders my enemies, it's like going around my party members.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit of sense of who's not, who's with me and who's not.
Cool. Fantastic. Alrighty, so
I will then take my sword and swipe at the guy in front of me.
alrighty.
That one.
Cool.
12.
A 12 is just shy of his 13 armor class. He's got little scraps and bits of armor, plus there's just not a lot of him there to swing at, right? It's just bones.
Yeah.
So just barely missing. No damage dealt there. Okay. It is this one to your right's turn, and he will continue his assault on you with his short sword. He rolls a 21 for 7 piercing damage, which will be cut in half down to 3. Lena, it is your turn.
Okay, I am going to turn into a dire wolf. Woo.
All right, you guys watch as your new friend suddenly morphs and changes shape, her body contorting in strange ways, and becomes a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Gardain just like squeal, like, ah, what was that?
And with that said, I'm going to fight this one in front of me.
Alrighty,
Does she get pack tactics?
Yes, I do.
he actually does.
Nice.
Well,
All
and
right,
the fun bit is the dogs chewing on bones.
you're a wolf.
So
Okay,
I'll
so
be honest, I don't really know how to like roll for this. Do I just roll like a d20 to see if I hit?
you should have the stat block, right? You have the wolf stat block in front of you? Or no?
Yeah, I just pulled it up on a different page.
So you can just put in whatever it says there for the roll, so it'll be like a d20 plus something. I also have the token here, so I could roll it for you if you want, I guess.
It's a d20 plus 10, so...
Plus 10.
Is that... No, that cannot be right.
So in the stat block I have here, the bite attack is weapon attack plus 4.
5.
So d20 plus 4 is what I have here.
Add plus 5 to hit. Reach 5 feet.
Okay, we can go with +5. That's fine.
Like, we're gonna have to figure out that.
Oh, the direwolf stats, I know them off the top of my head, actually.
Is it wolf or dire wolf? Which are you?
I'm a dire wolf.
You're a dire wolf. Okay. So I got the wrong token then. That's my bad. Then it probably is a +5. Also, you're like big. You're huge.
Yeah.
You're like really big. This is you.
Aha.
Okay. So yeah, that's you are correct in that regard then. It would be a +5. So if you want, I can click this for you and just roll it, or if you want, you can type it in or use the dice roller to do a d20 +5.
I'll do a d20 and then just add 5 to it.
Okay, so that's going to be an 11 then.
The head.
So unfortunately, that misses the 13 armor class of the skeleton. Just barely manages to step out of the way of your jaws. Man, those bones look tasty when you're in wolf
Is it
form.
advantage with pack
I have
tactics though?
advantage, yeah.
With the pack tactics.
So I get to roll again.
At least one of the wolf's allies is within 5 feet. Which one are you attacking? I thought it was this one.
No, the one right in front of me.
Ah, then you do have advantage. Roll it
Yeah, I picked
then
that
roll.
one.
specifically for the
Yeah.
pack.
And then I believe it makes a save as well.
14.
Okay, so you rolled a 9 +5. That will hit this time. Fantastic.
Okay.
So he will have to make a saving throw on this. Go ahead and roll 2d6 +3 piercing. And then he will make his strength save to see if he's knocked prone.
2d6
So-
and then +3,
So 8 piercing damage. He succeeded, rolled a 16 on his strength check, so he is not knocked prone. But he will take that damage as you bite into his bones and literally crush some of them. They just snap between your massive jaws. You have a strange
maw.
urge. You have a strange urge to gnaw on them. All right. But he is still standing, not quite down yet. And I believe that's your turn?
yes.
Cool. Next up, we have this guy here. He's going to try and stab Dimitri in the back. He rolls a 6, which misses. No damage dealt there. And it is
Nice.
Varys's turn.
And Varys is going to swing his longsword at this one.
Alrighty. Let's get that attack.
Two-handed.
Oof. Just barely gonna miss, unfortunately, as the sword just chunks down into the sand, almost getting stuck, but not quite.
I think that's all he's gonna do.
Okay, it is Meepo's turn.
Meepo will cast Armor of Agathis on himself,
Cool. Awesome.
giving
So
himself
a-
5 temporary hit points.
A sheet of ice covers his body, basically, and he'll gain 5 temporary hit points.
And if he gets hit while he has those hit points, he'll deal 5 cold damage to the attacker.
Alright. Is that all he's gonna do then?
That's his action, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna make a note that he has that little enchantment on him here. We'll just put that little wavy sign to show that. Cool. This skeleton here is going to turn to the wolf that just bit at him and is going to try and stab the wolf. But he misses terribly, rolling an 8, which I don't think is nearly enough to hit a swift dire wolf. No damage dealt there. This one will continue its assault on Gardane. I'll try and stab you in the back, Gardane.
Bring it down.
Rolls a 21 for 7 piercing damage with his rusty sword.
Yep,
Kind
that
of-
hits.
Chatters his bony jaw at you as he does so.
It's alright. Cardane's prepared for this.
This one is going to continue its assault on Ashari. Rolls a 22 for 4, reduced to 2 since you're raging. 2 more piercing damage. And this one will continue its assault on Varys. Rolls a 13, not going to be nearly enough to get through the armor of Varys. Dimitri.
Dimitri will twin cast. He'll spend 1 sorcery point to twin cast inflict wounds on this target and this target.
Alrighty, fantastic. So let's get 2 attack rolls for those. So the first one
that was low.
unfortunately misses. So that was it. The first one was at this guy, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the second one will hit this one here. Go ahead and roll the damage there. 13 necrotic damage goes surging through this creation of necrotic energy. However, he's not resistant to it, and he crumbles to the ground. How do you, what does that look like when you cast this on a skeleton? That's gonna be a little interesting.
So my hand is sheathed in just abyssal black energy, and it kind of crackles with lightning, and I grab one of the bones of his rib cage, and it just kind of cracks as like a disease that spreads throughout and just crumbles the bones to dust.
Oh, I love it. So you like grab the spine, twist, and the whole thing just kind of powderizes. It becomes sand, one with the sand it crawled out of. I love it. Fantastic. Alrighty. Next up, this one here is gonna try and stab the wolf. It's gonna roll a 12, which is not enough to hit a dire wolf. Swing and a miss for the skeleton. Gardain, you're up, sir.
Gardain will cast. Let's see. It's 5 feet. 1, 2. Yeah, words of radiance. Oh, sorry, I was sitting here talking and I was muted. My bad. Gardain is gonna cast Word of Radiance.
Okay. Who is he casting it on?
That is such a nice
this one, and this one. I think those are the only ones within 5 feet.
It is within 5 feet of you, right? Okay, fantastic. So that's going to be 3 saving throws. Constitution, correct?
Yes.
And the DC is 13? Okay. Let's see how they do. That's a failure. That's a success. And that is another success. So this first one right here is fully affected by the blast of your radiant word and is burnt badly by the radiant damage. He'll take that 5 right there. The others appear to resist it. No damage dealt to them.
And as a bonus action, Gardain. Oh, never mind. Already cast a spell. I'm good.
Alrighty, fantastic. Coming up here is this skeleton that is going to once again attack Meepo. Rolls a natural 1. He kind of he biffs it hard. He's gonna face plant it in the sand and fall prone as a result. And he won't be able to get up till his next turn.
Meepo advantage attack.
Ashari, it's your turn.
I am.
Top of the round.
I'm going to attack this one. Because
Alright.
Varys seems to be having this other one. I'm going to attack this one with my longsword two-handed.
Cool.
Ugh!
Oof. All right, that's rough, but
It
no
is
damage
annoying.
dealt this time. You watch as he deftly gets up, strangely agile for a skeleton, a zombie essentially, and just deflects your sword away with his rusty short sword.
Ugh.
Anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Alrighty. That same skeleton is going to retaliate and attack back at you. He parries yours and comes back to stab you. Rolling a 19 for 8 piercing damage, reduced to 4. Lena,
Yes.
you're up. Lena the
Okay.
wolf.
So I am now going to try to bite this one that's within my reach.
Yep, definitely.
And
And you will get pack tactics, so you will have advantage on the bite. Let me hold on. Let's see here.
I rolled them both together. One sec. Sorry, I thought I was being clever by rolling. Well, I guess we can just take the first and second. I don't know. Yeah, so I guess a 9 and a 19. They had 5, so 24 to hit.
Okay, so you're definitely gonna hit this skeleton. 100%.
It looks like a 12 for damage.
So 9 plus 3, yeah, that's gonna be 12. Oh, wow, okay. So he's hanging by a thread. He has 1 hit point left.
Is he not prone?
Let's find out. He rolls a strength save. What is the DC on that again?
Is DC 13.
He rolls a 17. He manages to stay on his feet, but your attack, like, literally shatters most of his rib cage, and you watch as one of his arms just flies off. So he's, like, barely standing up, and half of his bones have been flown away because of your bite attack.
Yeah.
He is still standing, though, unfortunately. Anything else?
No, that should be it for now.
Okay, so this one will try to stab Dimitri again. Rolls an 11, misses. Varys, you're up. What will Varys do for us?
We got all 3 cute things today: puppies, kitties, and babies.
Mason, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, sorry. You said Varys, and I
Yeah.
still didn't click to me. Varys' swing his longsword again.
Alright, cool. Which one?
This guy here.
Okay. A 12 just barely misses. We'll say that the wolf coming in and biting actually like knocked the skeleton back just a little bit and barely out of Varys' reach as he made his swing.
Yeah.
Just barely, not enough to hit. You gotta hit
Sorry, my
that 13. It is Meepo's turn, sitting pretty with full hit points and armor back.
Yeah, he's dodge tank right now. He's gonna cast the Blade Ward cantrip on himself, giving him resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing for the next turn, or until his next turn.
Alright, playing a little defensive, so we'll give him another little mark to show he's got Blade Ward. Okay?
That'll be his turn.
Fantastic. It is... that one is dead. Another skeleton. So this one is going to try to stab Gardane again, just continuing its assault. It misses with a 9. No
Finally.
damage to Gardane. This one here is going to try to stab Varys. Rolls a 12, no damage dealt. These skeletons are struggling, I tell you what. And this one is also going to try to stab Varys. Rolls a 7, no damage dealt. Dimitri, you are up, good sir.
All
If you're
right.
there.
I'm going to Green Flame Blade this one here.
Alrighty.
Gosh dang. Every roll is so low right now.
Either.
Yeah, it's a little rough, sorry. So this one just swings wide, unfortunately. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
You can't be having a steak. What do you
So
want?
this one is gonna stabby stab the wolf. Misses. Another 7. Man, every roll is low right now. Gardane, you are up, good sir.
Gardane will cast Word of Radiance again.
Alrighty, another round of saving
For
throws for
one whopping damage.
Stupid.
Well, hey, you know it's better than nothing.
Heck, the one on the ground has disadvantage. He's prone.
It's a Constitution save, so
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think that would work for that.
Darn.
But 2 of them fail. Only 1 made the save this time. So hey, I mean, it's 2 damage.
They're blinded by
Oddly enough,
light.
The one that was prone is the one that saved. The other 2 take 1 damage each as the radiance scorches them just a little bit. You see a little bit of black char on the bones.
Like a
of these skeleton
sunburn on the
bodies.
bones.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's like they're like black, but you can see that underneath it's like really white, like they're sun bleached almost. So there's a little char and then like sun bleach bone. Okay, next up, this one that was prone uses half his movement to get up, and is going to try to stab Meepo yet again. He probably will fail yet
You
again.
can try. Meepo doesn't get hit.
Meepo doesn't get hit. I'm like rolling 7 after 7. That's like 3 or 4 sevens from these skeletons here. But that's his turn. It is Ashari's turn.
I'm gonna hit this one again, and actually hit this time would be nice. Nope.
All right, so you tell me what happens with this natural one. This is on you.
I'm real frustrated, and I just like, I'm so mad that I can't hit a pile of bones that I lunged too far to one side while doing it and just absolutely missed.
Okay.
I don't want to necessarily biff because sand's not a fun thing, but I get like the my lovely little spell like gets in my way of all things, and I just slip in.
You trip over your own vines. I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I hit my own vines. I forgot they
Alrighty.
were there.
Seeing you trip, that skeleton gives a very finesse-like riposte and stabs you like a fencer. And he rolls a 21.
He's the only one that can hit too, by the way.
He is. He's rolling hot. That's 4 piercing, reduced to 2 since you're raging.
He's
And
the
it is
only one
Lena's
who can hit.
turn once again. Lena.
Okay. I am.
Y'all are struggling with these skeletons. Gosh.
It's the rats all over again.
It is the rats all over you.
Not the
I'm
rat.
gonna turn around and attack the skeleton behind me now.
Okay, sure thing.
So, no advantage, but
So 16 plus 5 will definitely hit. That's a hit.
what? Oh, wait, that's
9 damage.
3, so 12.
How do you dispatch this one?
I'm just gonna like chomp down on him and like kind of throw him, like only as it does so, his body just crumbles, like all the bones just kind of like
I love it.
fall apart.
I love
So
it.
just
So
kind
yeah,
of sprays this like cascade effect of bones.
yeah, I love it. So you're huge. You're this big dire wolf. You like snap on his head, you jerk your head and toss him just like you said, and as you do so, like his body just like scatters all over the place. Bits and pieces. Fantastic. All right. It is this one's turn. It's going to try and stab Dimitri. That is gonna hit, I think. Dimitri, what's your armor class?
Hit.
Rolled an 18.
17?
Rolled an 18. 4 piercing damage as he stabs you in the back.
Okay.
It is Varys's turn.
And Varys will once again try and swing his sword.
Hey, that's gonna hit.
On that one.
So that is gonna be 7 slashing. That will put this one out. How does he finish this one off?
I would say when he swings his sword, the spinal column kind of the rest of the bones fall off, but the spinal column keeps flying with the sword towards the dire wolf, so like she can like grab it in her jaw.
Yeah, definitely. The bones just scatter off in that direction, and if Lena wants, she can certainly grab some out of the air as they head that way. Meepo!
Alright. Meepo's gonna go for a big play. He's gonna take 3 attacks of opportunity
Oh, wow, okay.
and move this way.
Alright, 3 attacks of opportunity will be taken as the skeletons see him retreating. What's his armor class?
13.
First one misses. Second one hits for 3 piercing.
3 piercing reduced to 1 because he's still got Blade Ward up to the end of his turn.
And then...
And he'll take 5 cold damage from that.
Yep, the third one misses. So 2 misses and 1 hit. And the one that hit is going to take 5 cold damage in retaliation, correct?
Mm-hmm. And with his
3.
action, he will Eldritch Blast the one that took his armor of Agathis damage.
Okay, so that's going to be this one here. Go ahead and make that attack.
Where did that go? Eldritch Blast.
How does Meepo cast this spell? I'd love to know. I need to know.
He'll just kind of like blow in his hands and kind of warm them up, and you'll see energy just like slowly gather. It's really slow, and as it builds and builds, he'll start dancing around and then put both of his claws together, and the force will kind of like, there's tons of kickback for his
Yeah, like
body,
knocks
so
him on his butt. I love it.
Yeah, falls on his butt and rolls a 20 total to hit.
That will hit. Roll the damage.
5 force damage.
5. He had 4 hit points left.
Nice.
So yeah, this Eldritch Blast just fires into the skeleton and it explodes in a blast of bones. I love it. Okay, next up, after Meepo, this one here is going to stab Gardain. That's a 10 though, it misses.
Yes.
That one is dead.
Ooh,
As is
yummy.
this one.
You want another one of these?
Sure.
Just so we got a little
Thanks,
bit
Boo.
more
What are you
space
doing?
here.
I'm gonna go watch TV in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, Dimitri.
Doing alright. I'm almost done here. It's already 10:10.
So I'm gonna try 2 Green Flame Blade, that same one again. And then after this turn's over, I gotta get going.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Hit, that
Might be a
hits.
hit.
Yeah.
Finally.
What are you watching?
6 slashing to this one, and then 5 fire to this one.
Hey, fantastic. Okay. So, we can either continue without Dimitri and finish this fight, or we can pick this up next time and finish up the fight then.
I'm good either way.
What do you guys want to do?
Maybe once we get to the top of the turn order, and then
Sure.
stop, because it's only the 2 skeletons.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
not even
finish
sure.
the round.
Yeah.
We'll finish the round then.
Cool.
And then we
Good
can
time
just
now,
start-
but thanks guys.
Alright, man.
Sure
Later.
thing.
It was
We'll see you later,
lots
Kobe.
of fun. We'll see ya.
Yep. Bye-bye. Alrighty. So, after Dimitri, it is Gardain's turn.
Well, I think Gardain is gonna, instead of casting Word of Radiance, he is going to cast Sacred Flame.
Alright, deck save. Which one is he casting it on this time? Okay, he will make a deck save. Rolls a 10, fails his deck save, and will take 7 radiant damage. Alright, anything else from Gardain?
Nope.
Okay. And then that same skeleton is going to retaliate against you for searing his bones, and will try to stab you, Gardain. but he misses. Rolls a 9. No damage dealt there. And that will bring us back to the top of the order. So unless you guys want to finish the fight, we can just pick up here next time.
I mean, I'm good with finishing the fight. It seemed like they died pretty fast, but that's me.
What do you guys want to do?
We can finish the fight. I have time.
Okay. All right, then it is your turn, Ashard.
I'm going to attempt once again to hit the skeleton.
I believe in you. I do. You can do it.
So bad.
You've been having some bad luck with rolls. I feel so bad. Ugh.
Okay, I am done.
I feel like this whole fight has been bad luck with rolls.
I'm sorry.
Especially, like, the one that's attacking me is having good luck with rolls.
I'm kind of hungry.
It's true. I feel bad. All right. It is that one's turn. And he's probably gonna roll well again.
Maybe heat up
just
some
'cause that's the way it's
pasta.
been going.
It's in the fridge.
See how he does.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a miss this time. It's 11.
You want to heat it up for you?
11 doesn't
Curse.
hit you, right?
Oh, you don't have to.
Nope.
I'm-
Curse him.
We're almost done.
Curse
Lena,
him. The sand.
Lena, it is your turn.
I want to know what I wanted to look up. Well, something I wanted to look up. When I was sitting downstairs, I
I'm
didn't have
going
my
to
phone.
move my
And I sat down and I forgot it.
character. Only by me, I mean you, Matthew, because I can't move the
The
ball.
nugget down or just cheese?
Huh?
Okay.
Right there.
I'm gonna move it over here.
Yeah, it's done.
Aww. That's not nice. Just cheesy.
He's
So
like,
this
"Get out of
is
here,
as
fucker."
far as you can get because it is still difficult terrain
Oh,
in
right.
the sand here. You have a 50-foot movement, and that's 25 feet there to get you to that point.
Okay. Yeah, that's still fine. I'll go ahead and take a chomp out of this one.
Okay, you will have pack tactics, so you have advantage there.
So our the character that died,
Okay,
she rolled
so
a
with the
druid
9, that will hit. That's a 14. So go ahead and roll damage.
with her new character. She just shapeshifted into a huge
3 for
dire.
9.
All right. Yeah. How do you kill this one?
Which I'm gonna be
Wolf
like,
is just tearing through these.
maybe
skeletons
you
right
should have
now. This
warned
dire
us that
wolf
you
is
could turn
destroying
into a big wolf before you did it, because we
You're
just met you.
welcome.
You're welcome.
I just kind of bite down over his head and like just sink my teeth into his chest, and then just have the
God damn it,
bones
what was I
just
gonna fucking
disintegrate
look
out
up?
of my mouth.
Was it?
Yeah, you
Pots?
crush him in
Oh,
your
was it
jaws,
flower stuff?
literally.
I don't
Like
think
the
so.
chest
Was it
and the spinal column
Gaming
just collapse,
stuff? Painting stuff?
I don't even know.
shatters into
School
the
stuff?
sand,
I don't even know.
lifeless once again.
I really have no fucking idea.
Was it
Okay,
Mustang stuff?
that
No, I
skeleton
wanted to
is
look
dead,
something up to see
so
how much
it
it would
is
cost to buy it.
Varys'
So
turn.
shopping. Just probably doesn't narrow it down.
Well, Varys will probably move down here and then swing his sword at the top
Alright.
one.
Oh, at the top one? Okay. 18's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll the damage. So the one we won't add because that's if it had crit for the advantage.
Right,
so that's
right.
gonna be 13. That is how many hit points these things have exactly. So how does Varys end this skeleton's undeath?
He just swings down and the skull kind of gets caught in his sword, and then he has to pick his sword up and just kind of
And the skull
pry it
stays
off.
there?
Yeah, like he has to like pry the skull off.
I love it. And then the rest of the body just falls down.
Yeah.
I love it. Cool. Alrighty. It is Meepo's turn. I guess I will real quick run Meepo.
Eldritch Blast.
Basically. Yeah. He's just gonna cast another Eldritch Blast. Let's see here.
No. You
Rolls
don't
a
have to get up
21.
here.
Meepo's on a roll.
Hmm?
Yes, he does.
For 7 force damage, shattering yet another skeleton into dust.
Meepo's done more damage than Gardein this fight.
Eldritch Blast!
Nico's done more damage than the barbarian.
Well, yeah.
But the barbarian's taken all of the damage.
All those lessons on the ship.
You are kind of the tank.
That
I
really
mean,
paid off.
I know, but still.
The cat's trying to get over.
and then this final skeleton here.
The tank missing.
This one just still really doesn't like dwarves, Gardane, so he's gonna try and stab you again. He is gonna hit with a 23 for 4 piercing damage, Gardane. How you doing over there, Gardane?
Not great actually. I'm down to 13 hit points.
Oof. Yeah, he's hit you a few times now. It is Dimitri's turn.
Can we
He's
just have
gonna,
bring it?
That was a Gary fart.
he's gonna step
Did
up
you fart,
and
Gary?
he's gonna go ahead
Did you,
and
or it was a precious fart.
Another
It was a dog fart for
green
sure.
Alright, get him.
I
Don't
just
come up here and fart on me.
He climbed up on you and then he like arched his back a little bit and then her little.
and deals.
But
6
she farts
slashing.
audibly a lot.
She definitely has gotten
And the
fatter.
skeleton is
Yeah.
just barely still standing. Gardane, it's your turn.
Needs to drop some weight.
Gardane will swing his one-handed warhammer and miss.
Whew. A big splash of sand just bursts up into the air as you smack the ground right next to it, and it steps out of the way. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Alrighty. It is Ashari's turn.
I am going to move past Varys and get over here. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Because I have enough movement for that. And
You
then
should be-
I am going to recklessly attack this thing.
Oh, okay. Alright. That's right. Barbarians can do that, right?
Two-handed. Yeah, I just never like to use it because, like, I get advantage, but then they also get advantage, so, like...
Put her on like a diet.
But you're a little pissed after how this fight has gone for you. I understand. I get it.
23
That's a hit! Swinging for the fences, home run!
for 10.
Hey, alright, how do you kill the skeleton?
As I'm swinging my sword, I kind of, like, flatten it out so that the flat side hits him, and I just kind of crush him down.
Yep. Like an accordion. Just smashing an aluminum can into the sand. And he is donezo. Alrighty.
I'm going to
Fantastic.
take him out. My guns.
Okay, and we are out of combat. As it appears to be quiet now once again on the sand dunes around you. No more skeletons seem to be moving in your direction. For now.
Is Lena still a direwolf?
She is. For a while, if she wants to be.
I'll turn back into a human.
Okay, so you watch as this gigantic wolf shrinks back down in size to the much smaller form of your new friend Lena.
So Varys would look at Lena and be like, you know, you might want to have warned us you could turn into a big wolf before you did it.
Oh, sorry. I guess I didn't think about that.
That was pretty cool though.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't usually change into direwolves. I actually prefer sea creatures. But, you know, I figured that wouldn't do so well in sand dunes.
Yeah, you know, breathing and all.
Yeah. By the way, do you need some healing?
I do not, but my dwarven friend here might. Gardane just sits down like, ugh. Yes.
I'm gonna do cure wounds on Gardane.
Cure wounds? Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you should be able to click that on your sheet to roll it. Alright, so that is 7 hit points. As
Nice.
some of your wounds close up as she reaches out her hand to you and heals you with her magic.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah, no worries.
Alrighty. So things start to get quiet once again, and you find yourselves trying to figure out where to go next. What direction you should move as you are trekking through these sand dunes once again. And that's where we will pick up next time. deciding
Awesome.
where you're gonna head next. So that if we stick with our normal schedule, that's gonna be the 4th of September, 2 weeks from now. Cool.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. Let me know if there are any conflicts or anything like that, and we'll plan for it. Sound good?
Sounds great. Awesome. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks for coming, guys.